Yo.
Hide my shame over here. Go ahead and hit start on the thing. Oh, this needs to move. This moved. Hold on. One moment. That's better, right? It needs to come down just a little bit. Yes?
Yeah, looks good.
Better.
Darn good, my friend.
All right, now
Darn good.
I need to get rid of that. It's my shame that I don't have any boxed R.B.I. baseball games. None. I might have some Super Famicom ones, but yeah, it's true.
Just saying.
Hold
Ready?
on. Yeah, hit the record button for sure. What is John? Hold on, John's
Okay,
calling.
I won't hit record then.
It's okay.
Is he? Okay.
Hold on. Hey.
Hey, R.B.I. Baseball. So, I really enjoy the series. We doing this shit
Well, I need to get you connected to the Roadcaster.
Hello?
Can you
Hold
hear?
on.
You hear me? Who is this?
This is John.
I know who this is.
Get Brett Weir.
Hold on. I'm trying to connect you to the thing here.
You have so many Bluetooth devices.
I-
Your phone makes
There's
my
a lot
head
of
hurt.
them on here, yes. Thank you for noticing.
Clean some of that shit up. Fucking IT guy. Jesus Christ. I guess you're not an IT guy. You're an engineer.
I'm neither. Hold on. I gotta get you connected to the Roadcaster here. I think I'm gonna have to reboot it.
We can hang up. I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, I figured.
R.B.I. stands for Run Fat and In. The Boys of Summer starts June 22nd or 21st, depending on the year.
I don't know what the solstice is.
It's on like a 4 to 7 year cycle.
Is that right?
Yeah, solstice.
It scares me when it scares me when you start talking sports talk.
We're talking about the equinox and how the quarters of the seasons happen.
The
The tilt
Chevy.
of the earth and the
Why am I only hearing you in my left ear? You there?
maybe that's me. Yeah, correct.
Nope,
that better?
I'm only hearing him in one too.
No, it's only coming through in the left ear. It's weird.
Oh, I'm
Hello?
super deaf in my left ear, so that's not going to help either.
Hello.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's bad news.
Wow.
Huh.
I like that reverb. You're like Tom Waits with the what are those called? The walkie-talkies.
For some reason, the right channel on this is real. Oh, it's just because of you. It's yours. It's got to be the Bluetooth or something because it's fine when we talk.
Well, I'm wired.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds better.
Is that better?
No,
No,
you're just in the
we're
left
good.
ear. I don't understand it.
We're good. You're
You're
not.
I'll disconnect. Uncle Leo? No, let me see if I can figure out why this is acting this way.
I got you on speaker now. Is that better?
No,
No, it still sounds.
I think it's on this end.
Okay.
So-
All right. I'm going to hang up, but make sure you remember all those facts that I told you for baseball.
Okay,
Chevy
I will.
Equinox runs bad
All right.
again.
Yeah, and then something
Yeah.
about
June something today.
June 21st, 22nd, depends on the solstice, 4 to
Just hang
3 to
up.
7 year cycle. Occasionally 11. But
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
I don't understand why it's not working.
I don't know. Wow. Yeah.
Hold on, let me try and stream something through it and see if it says the same thing. That worked fine.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to gamble that it's fine. All right.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
6-year-old.
I think we
Hey,
should
grab a
probably
pen.
get started here.
Get yourself a pen.
I don't need a pen. Leave
thought
me
you wanted a
alone.
pen.
You're not my real dad. It was not Blues Traveler. It was Counting Crows.
They both suck.
Yeah.
I heartily endorse this event or
What is it? You get your hands off of this. You're
Bullshit.
I'm telling you right now, you're going to get kicked off this thing if you keep it up. You're going to get kicked off of it. See?
He's
Tell
gonna
him.
pull this card. He was yepping to me because they both suck.
Tell him. Tell him, Robbie.
Robbie, am I allowed to touch the Roadcaster?
Tell him the truth. Is he allowed to touch the Roadcaster? The pen is mightier. I don't even know what the fuck.
I have the pen.
Counting Crows suck. That's fine.
They do suck. 100% agree.
That's fine that you think that. Okay, no problem.
Can I touch the Roadcaster? Robbie?
No, you cannot touch it.
If Robbie makes the final decision.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does. You know why? Because he fucking loves the typing of the dead.
That's a good reason.
So
okay,
if he says I can touch it, I can touch it.
We got to get started here.
You told me to hit the goddamn record button earlier.
Yeah, but that's because I told you to do it. You because your hand was hovering. I'm moving this thing away from you. It's got to move over. I wanted it in the middle, but we can't keep it there.
He's so angry.
Can't trust you with anything. You can't.
I'm going home.
Good.
Oh, hi.
Oh, I thought you were going home.
You.
All right. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we're going to get started. If that's okay with everybody.
What's John
He's
talking
trigger
about
happy with
penises
the
for?
samples. See, you're trigger happy with the samples.
But I don't give a shit.
But I don't care.
I don't give a shit is what he said.
Listen.
I heartily endorse this event or product.
I'd pull back if I were you.
Robbie, will you do me a favor?
Don't listen to him.
Will you send us an audio clip of you saying, I don't give a shit?
I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't give a shit. So I can put it on here.
I don't care what you think.
We will put it on here, and then then we'll have Robbie.
Are we ready to get started? Are we ready? Or are we just going to drive everybody off from the very beginning? Which one do you want to do? Start or just have nobody here?
I don't jump through hoops for anyone. That's what Robbie said.
No, that's right.
I'm asking nicely.
I never directly tell you to do anything, do I, Robbie? Because you know why? Because I know better.
I need it in my life. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you need. Okay. We ready?
Yep.
All right. Little there's let's do it live, he says. Meow. Yeah, we got a little modified intro music this time. So for all the sports fans out there. You ready?
Yeah.
Well, don't be closing shit when I'm trying to do it. Nah, don't do it.
Mute my fucking mic.
But you still hear it over here.
Mute yours too.
That might be a good idea.
This week in baseball.
Welcome back to the Lost Joystick Network, episode 26. My name is Mike. Jay will not be joining us this evening.
Son of a bitch.
When you touch every other button, you can't touch the mute button all of a sudden.
I'm staying away from you.
There we
Oh,
go.
hi.
There we go. There we
I
go.
thought I was going to have to continue yelling.
There we go. Welcome back. I am your host, Mike, joined as always by my friend Jay.
Am I still your friend tonight?
You are all. If we've made it this far, this long, you'll always be my friend, I hope.
Touche. Okay. I take that.
Jay, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right. So the
I like it
next
when you
episode.
wear your glasses. You look good in your glasses.
Thanks.
Those are nice. Those new?
They're relatively new.
Let's say
Yeah.
they look different from the ones you had last time I saw you wearing
I
glasses.
got these about 3 or 4 months ago.
Oh, maybe I have seen those.
Maybe. I don't wear them
You
that
don't wear
much.
them very often.
Yeah. I don't mind them. I like them.
Do you know what my glasses look like?
Milo glasses or Henry Rollins in the Liar video glasses.
No. Close.
Buddy Holly.
No,
Weezer?
I don't have. They're not that.
Any
the
Counting
frames aren't that
Crows
thick.
type
Ironically, they're blue
glasses?
though.
They're blue.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
I have blue frame glasses.
I don't know if I've ever seen them before.
I don't wear. I need to wear them. I just don't.
Well, this is Lens Talk, brought to you by Lens Crafters and Zanny.com, where you can get your glasses for $10 or whatever the name of that site is.
What about America's Best?
They're not really that good.
They're not the best.
It's a bold claim.
Is that like in Elf when it says the world New York's best coffee?
That's right.
Nope, no Blues Traveler glasses.
All right, so
You know why?
they're not very good.
Because
These are good. That they can't be because these are good.
So those aren't Counting Crows or Blues Traveler.
These are good glasses. That's why they can't be Blues Travelers glasses. Anyway,
Lord.
how have you been?
You already asked me. I said good. How have you been? That's how we got into the subject of glasses.
No, I'm good. I come for the Lens Talk, says John. Yeah, well, we are. That's why we're all here.
Mr. Sexy Specs himself.
I prefer Rec Specs myself. You can call me Chris Sabo.
Oh, that's a good segue.
That's tying it all together here.
We'll circle back to that one.
So
Mr.
what have you been up to the past couple of weeks, Jay?
What do you think I've been up to?
Well, hanging TVs in my house, stopping by my house, hanging out, avoiding your wife at my house.
I don't avoid my wife.
No, I know you don't. I'm just kidding. I'll probably edit that out. I don't want her to think that I think that because I don't. Hung out with.
I just come over for the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of it.
Yes.
I stay for the chemistry, says John. Yeah, you know.
We should do a chemistry set here one day. Like get one of the 8-year-old kid ones.
I don't think he's talking about real chemistry.
Oh.
Not like what we have.
Oh.
Anyway.
Handsome.
Yeah, so I got to hang out with you and your son.
Oh yeah, he did come over.
And what else? What else have you been up to besides working and nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, very good.
Really nothing. I guess I don't have any collecting updates, so I can at least tell you I started finally playing Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Not too far into it. I'm going a little slow on it. I love it.
It's good.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a good
fantastic game. I'm kind of upset I hadn't started playing it sooner.
You're trying to steal my amiibos too, I saw.
Yes. Let's just borrow them. I'll bring them back.
I believe you.
The whole Emmy thing in the game, and I don't want to give anything away of the game, but everybody knows, if you know Metroid Dread, you know there's the little Emmy characters. Those things are that's stress level to the max. You get wound up. You go in their zone and they find you, or you're trying to sneak. Holy shit.
Yep. It's frightening.
Yes.
It makes you feel scared.
It winds you up.
You're like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
I'm not over here.
Yeah.
Like you're throwing a rock somewhere else.
Yeah,
so
right.
It just,
Why didn't they come up with that in the game?
That would have made a lot of sense. You could
Samus just grabs
them.
an arbitrary rock and throws it.
Yes.
Got you, bitch.
Slide right between your legs. I'm out of here. Stupid.
Other than that, nothing. I haven't been doing anything. What about you?
Nothing.
Oh, you're a liar.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Other than, driving to get my son, then spending 4 straight days prepping our house for an open house, which was, every day was 90 plus degrees too. So that was awesome. Things like power washing the driveway and fixing doors and toilets and stuff.
You need a maintenance guy.
I had a handyman, but he doesn't call me back anymore.
Oh.
He does. It's you.
Oh.
You're not my handyman.
I thought it was your maintenance guy.
Yeah, well, you could be my Schneider. That's a dated joke.
I need a pencil stash.
That joke is too old even for me.
Didn't they remake that show on Netflix or some shit?
I don't know.
I think they did.
Jim J. Bullock was probably the creative force behind it, I'd say. Monroe.
We went from...
That's my Ted Knight.
We went from 20 viewers to 2. And it's just John and Robbie.
Are you my pal, Danny? All right. Anyway, it was good. We had Connor's graduation party. It was fantastic. A huge amount of people showed up. I've told this story a couple times now, but it was 1:00 on Sunday. The party was scheduled to start then. Connor was so hyped. And he said, Dad, nobody's here. And I said...
At 1 o'clock in 32 seconds?
I said it's 1:00, but it's okay. Not everybody had to be here right at 1. It's an open house. They can come and go as they please. And then I walked into the next room and I thought, oh God, please fucking have people show up.
There's a ton of people there.
I know, but I'm just saying, you put this whole, Deacon graduate, you put this whole thing together and then you're just like, I hope somebody shows up. Anybody, like. So anyway, but it was a great party. We had a fantastic time. You had stopped by. We had a little 3-on-3 basketball pickup game there.
Oh, we did.
Myself and you and our mutual friend Tom on one team, the 40 pluses.
Yep.
Then we had
on the closer side of 50.
Yeah, easily. Then we had Kyle from Retro,
who's 26.
26, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Mace, 24.
From Matty Ice and Marky Mark.
Matty Ice and Marky Mark podcast. And then Harrison, who's 19. And we fucked him up.
We did.
We won 2 games in a row.
2 games in a row.
11-6 and 11-4 or something like that. We smoked their ass. So anyway, that was fun. Other than that, like I said, I've just been trying to, like, that was a whole thing. Like, I literally wound up unexpectedly taking the day off after just to, like, clean up. And now it's literally just 2 days since after that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just finally coming down from that. And the house has never looked better. So the house looks great. The party was fantastic. But so that was what I was really doing. That, and I've been collecting.
Yeah.
See, that's why I can't trust you with the thing, because now I don't know which one it's on.
I didn't do any of that. You did. No, you started blaming me for that
shit. I know
shit.
you didn't touch it. I know.
It's right there. It's that button there. Yeah.
You're not gonna dance?
No.
That's one of those songs that I don't want to ever stop playing it. I want it to just go.
It was as good as the song.
I wish the game was as good as the song. I wish the game was 1/10 as good as the song. 1/100th as good as the song. Time for the collecting update. I think you've already given us yours. Nothing. None. There's no update.
I have not been.
I'm going to stop asking. We're just going to skip over you for now. It's going to be Mike's collecting update.
I think we may have to change that.
The platform agnostic collecting extravaganza, new #1 super happy fun time.
Maybe we get the Pacino thing out of there. Or we leave that and we'll add me going, Mike. And then it goes, give me what you got.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Just add it in.
Just say
Mike.
Mike's. Yeah. Anywho, so I'll confirm before
I'm good.
Okay, before I move on. You
Good.
sure? Okay.
Good.
I bought a few things.
No.
I did. I always do. It's funny because I'm not buying as much, like, personally for, like, my collection, but I'm still buying the stuff.
My ass, you're not buying
No,
as
it's
much.
kind of just send Jay my. I can send Jay my collecting updates. That's John.
Oh, done.
Perfect. We'll just pretend that they're his.
So I got a bunch of Famicom stuff.
Really? Any of it Famicom box or the Pulse series of Famicom games?
It might be. John will fill you in.
Oh,
on that
good.
later
Yeah,
for me.
he's our resident expert.
And his game.
I'll start with the little stuff. And it's funny you mentioned John because he'll come up here in a moment and he'll also be on later.
We're going to have like a bunch of segues in this.
Maybe.
We're still sitting on Mr. Sabo.
Oh, yeah, the rec spec. So went over to Media Reload yesterday.
Yeah.
Connor and I were out. We actually kind of did like the little hat trick. We went to Retro, replayed Kyle's shop, Media Reload, which is where Harrison used to work and some of my friends still work. And then we stopped at Disc Replay. I didn't buy anything at Disc Replay. But at Media Reload, they had actually reached out and told me they had gotten some TurboGrafx games in. So they got a few loose ones and then Impossible, which I didn't have. So I went and picked up Impossible. And while I was there, I was like, let me look in the cabinet. I haven't been here in a little while because my friend that managed the store has left, Sarah, Matt's girlfriend. And I really don't know anybody at the store as well anymore. So Clarvis is upset he didn't get a notification. I don't know why. You've got to smash that like button and hit that bell to get notified, I think is how that works. If you want to get,
I think that's what they say.
I have no idea. I'm sorry though. So got the TurboGrafx game, and then I like I said, I hadn't been there in a while, so I walk over to the cases, and like they don't have a lot of retro games anymore. They used to have like 5 cases, and 4 of them had retro games, and it's all boiled down to about a case and a half now because you just can't find stuff. Nobody's bringing it in, trading it in, whatever.
Yeah.
And I look up in the top of the shelf that has the now Nintendo and Super Nintendo. They used to be in a separate case. And there's a boxed Final Fantasy III sitting there. with no manual. Guess how much it was? Boxed Final Fantasy 3, no manual. Do you have any idea what a loose Final Fantasy 3 runs?
No.
It's about 75 to 80 bucks.
Oh.
So there's a boxed one with no manual. Boxes in, I'd say, 6.5,
Yeah,
7
it's
out of
probably
10.
pretty good. You have a manual somewhere.
I do not, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm surprised.
Give me a guess on what you thought the price was on this thing.
Say, I'm guessing it was a deal, so I'm gonna wager. I'm gonna go low side. I'm gonna say around 45 to 55.
Man, you really lowballed and screwed my whole story. It was $70.
Oh damn! All right. Well, it's still good though.
Well, no, it's very good. The cartridge is normally like $75 to $80.
Yeah.
So like they didn't fuck up that bad, but like $70 for a
Well, I didn't know.
Final
since
Fantasy 3 and a
you said
box.
you started that off with Sarah's not there anymore, so my assumption would be
They could have gone anyway. Could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. I wouldn't even say it's a fuck up. It's what they priced it at. God knows what they paid for it. I don't know. I'm not worried about any of that. But I grabbed that because I'm like, well, shit, the box
Good
is
price.
worth
Yeah.
more than that. So, and then now I have 2 extra Final Fantasy 3s. Also, I went over to see Kyle. I talked about that. While I was there, Kyle had to grab a Wii U charger for the tablet because I had that tablet I got at that garage
Oh, yeah, you
sale.
talked about it last. Yeah.
I finally cobbled together everything to play with to be able to play the Wii U, and I did not have a charger for the tablet. So I went to get one from Kyle, got all that up and running yesterday. Connor was playing it. He really liked it. So, and I also he had an empty Streets of Rage 2 box for the Genesis he had just got in. Somebody gave to him, and I think basically gave to me because I have a cartridge. Now I just need a manual, but I don't hunt down manuals, so I'll just sell them together, maybe at a low price like Media Reload would. And then I got grabbed by the Ghoulies, which is like an action adventure game on Xbox. It was an Xbox exclusive at the time. It was cheap, and I always grab fun games like that you don't see. It was like $14. I don't even remember what it was. So grab that. Connor got, Kyle actually brought him the black and orange Yoshi plushies that he wanted, and he gave them to him as a graduation gift.
He didn't want those.
Oh, I heard about it for weeks. And anyway, he wanted to go. That's why we had to
that
go
was
after.
awesome.
Yeah,
He
we had
was
to go.
super excited.
Well, we had to go after because if he would have gone before, he'd have wanted to buy them, and Kyle would have had been like, dude, I'm giving you those. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And then that was kind of it from there. That's not the big stuff.
Do tell.
John has been kind of showing me the ropes, and I talked about this a little bit last episode on how to like kind of pick up some stuff from Japan, and I'm trying to get like just stock so I can go do like shows and not worry about having things, because like I said earlier, it's just hard to get your hands on some of this stuff now. It became so competitive, and there's just so many people out there trying to pick up lots and make money. And I do, I've been having this conversation with you. I had it with Robbie,
Yeah.
and I think John would probably agree too. I don't know how much he pays attention to it, but I feel like things are starting to backslide. I think that prices are starting to come down. That it's less competitive. Like there's less. There's just going to be more stuff up for sale. People are going to start selling collections, getting out of this kind of stuff because it was a quick buck, it was a quick flip, and now it's not.
It's almost like you're going to see that the collector is going to start to prevail again instead of the I'm just trying to make some money.
It's the people who are literally just trying to like come in and game the system to make a couple $100 and then leave, or they were collecting, thinking everything's going to go up forever, and it's starting not to. So they're whatever it is. So. Yeah. I hope so. I do too. So it just feels that way. But what I did was John kind of showed me the ropes of maybe how to pick up some lots of things from Japan, and I've been doing that. So I actually had to stop myself because I was doing it a little bit too much. Because now at my house, by this time next week, I already probably have over half of this stuff. But by this time next week, I'll have probably 400 boxed Super Famicom games and a Turbo Duo RX in the box, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't even remember what, but I've just been picking this stuff up because it's super cheap. It's fun. The stuff that I'm picking up is attractive to U.S. audiences.
Yeah.
So my plan is to use it as table fodder. So some of them I'm going to non-destructively modify so they can be played in English, like Secret of Mana 2 was Seiken Densetsu 2.
Yeah.
And 3. 2 is actually Secret of Mana. 3 is Secret of Mana 2, which was never released here. I have Terranigma, which is an RPG that was localized for Western audiences, but never released in the US. And I'm going to modify that one so people over here could play it. and I'll bring them to shows, and they'll be, Super Famicom games in Super Famicom boxes with manuals, but things that you can actually play in your Super Nintendo if you break those two little tabs out, or if you have a converter.
In the backtrack a little bit here, just so people are clear, because we just got on the whole tirade of people buying and selling stuff, and then we say, well, you're getting stuff to buy and sell. That's not the case. You're not doing it to make a profit. You're doing it from a collecting standpoint. You're doing it exactly from what you said by rechipping these games to sell them as games that collectors want, people truly want to play as a US version. That's a lot of the reasoning you're doing this.
There's three reasons. One is I like some of the stuff and I keep some of the stuff, but I don't. I was telling Robbie yesterday, I have no emotional tie to any of this stuff. Like when I look at Super Mario All-Stars complete in the box on Super Famicom, which works perfectly here, you can play and you don't need to understand anything, there's no language barrier or anything like that. I don't go, well, I got to keep one for myself. I don't care if I have one. The games I cared about or would care about are things like Proteus, which I wanted anyway. Which is
a messed up but fun game.
Yeah, we didn't talk about how we played Proteus, which was awesome and a lot of fun. Or things like I want to get back to Super Back to the Future 2, which I've not gotten yet a lot, or Super Metroid, which I've got one of those on the way. Those kind of things I would keep, but it's little itsy bits of it. I do not want a wall of Super Famicom games. So the three reasons are: one is what you talked about. I want to bring some of this stuff over here and westernize it so people can get it. So if you want to play Chrono Trigger on an original cartridge, Chrono Trigger, whatever you want to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you don't want to spend $1,400, whatever it costs for the complete in box one with all the maps and shit nowadays and a reg card or whatever it is, you can get one for $30, $12 to convert it, probably sell it for $50 or $60. I'll make a little bit of money, but it's also, there's overhead involved and all the stuff and my time and whatever. Yeah. So that's part of it. The collecting part is also part of it, right? Just the itty bit of it. Like that's the 1% of it. And then the last part is really that I really just want to have stuff to take to shows. I want to go, and to your point, sell it to collectors or whatever it may be, but I want to be on the other side of the table, and I don't want to have to fight for things to put on a table. I want it to be easy and inexpensive and accessible things that people could look at and go, Super Donkey Kong 2, which is Donkey Kong Country 2 here, right? And they can buy it for $15 or $20, and you can play it if you want, or never play and just put it on your shelf. And it's like fun, cheap stuff. And I never have to worry if I have enough stuff to take to a show, or like I'm panicking to go, oh, I better get some stock, or maybe I need to take some things on my personal collection just because I like being on the other side of the booth, meeting people, getting to know the other vendors and working deals with them and that kind of stuff. So those are the real reason. Yeah. So Clearvis says he agrees about the point about, games and certain, he said he's, it's going to be interesting to see how much certain games go down. I think what he's probably referring to are the most expensive games. The things like Panzer Dragoon Saga or Little Samson, or the Sculptor's Cut has already started to backslide. And it's just interesting to me because I think we were talking about this, the sunken cost fallacy of, well, I've paid this much. Well, guess what? It's not worth that much anymore. So either going to sit on it and hope it goes back up, or sell it at a loss. And people don't want to do that with their biggest, most expensive things. Some people bought them just because they're rare and expensive. That's the problem. Don't buy things because they're expensive or rare. If you buy them because you want them, it's cool if they're expensive and rare and you have them. But the problem is if you buy something specifically because of its price, when it starts to backslide, then you either panic or you're just going to wind up sitting on it and eating the whole cost because you don't even care that you have it. You're trying to make money or show off, or I don't even know what it is, but ultimately you're going to screw yourself by doing that. So
the way some people are treating it is almost, and I don't want to get into the whole wormhole of this, but they're treating games like stocks,
like an investment.
Yeah, they're like, not. Well, I'm going to put my money all into this.
To be fair, they are. They're volatile. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
So, Valdor says he's been looking at importing some of those Japanese RPGs and he has Ogre Battle so far. I have good news for you, Asa. You do not need to do that. I will help you. I have plenty. I already have what?
Make a list.
I bought a lot with Dragon Quest V. How many copies were in it?
The lot you just bought. No, that one had 5, and then Dragon Quest 6.
Yeah,
1 copy of that.
So
you have like 4.
I already
5
have 4 copies. I have like 9 copies of Dragon Quest V complete in box already. So don't worry about that. I can help you out with all that. Yeah, and then, so like Ogre Battle or Ogre Tactics, I have those already. These are cheap games, but again, you can convert them, and they, like, if you want the North American version to collect and play, that's one thing. If you just want to play it, there are inexpensive ways to actually play it on an actual NES with a with the Super Famicom cart. So I'm working on doing all that. But yeah, I'll hook you up, Asa. We'll talk. So yeah. Oh, Sarah's here.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Sarah. We were just talking about you.
I was talking about how media sucks now. If you don't work there.
We were talking about Media Reload and how I hadn't been back since you left. And now I have once. Save me a copy of Tactics Ogre. I've got one with your name on it, Mike. Don't worry. So yeah. But yeah, so I've been importing all this stuff, right? And it's slowly showing up. In my basement, I've got pictures. Maybe I'll post. I don't know. I feel like I'm drowning in it right now. I've got to test it because like we busted out Final Fight, and the first one I put in wouldn't work. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take this apart and figure out why. But I have another one that right here next to it. Don't worry, I got a backup, right? And I put it in and it worked. But yeah, so it's stuff like that where it's like, yeah, Sarah's a good example. Sarah wants a copy of Fire Emblem. There's a Fire Emblem game for Super Famicom. And I now have 2 of them. The second one showed up, by the way, Sarah. So you'll be happy to hear that because I'm going to, Englishify it, whatever, put the IPS patch or get the actual converted ROM and stick it on there. And that's cool. I'll probably just do it myself. So it's all legal. I've got a ROM dumper and I've got the EEPROM writer. So I've got everything I need to do it, nice and legal.
And that was a couple of the things I thought were really cool. Is the Famicom stuff looks cool.
The boxes
look like VHS tapes.
Terranigma is awesome.
Yes.
Like somebody was talking about what a great. Oh, John was saying it's an amazing game. Yeah, I want to play it, but the box is just cool. It's just like borderless, cool art, and yes, they're almost. I measured. I put one up again. Yeah. They're slightly larger than VHS tapes, so you can't take I'm gonna buy some protectors for some of them because man, some of them are expensive. There's some stupid Donald game I have about a magical hat that's like $180 complete in box. Like what the hell, man? Or like that Battle Zekden, which is whatever it is. So, yes, that. So Clearvis asked if I'm going to use the Voltar Super Stack ROM kit. I'm going to use the 8 megabits and the Super Stacker. They just attach to the other side of the EEPROM. So on the bottom side of a PCB where the legs of the EEPROM come out and the solder joints are.
You're talking about you pull the 2 out.
You just stick it over it and you solder them in. You have to program it, right? I have the stuff to do that, and then that's it. So, but yes, I'm gonna use those because they're non-destructive. All you have to do is pull one pin off of the mask ROM, which is the game itself, and you can lift that pin. Okay, you don't have to cut it or anything. You can pull it right up, lift it out straight, and then you bridge 31, like whatever it is, like 31 and 32, and then it has the ability to read the ROM from the back because of the way what it's looking for and how it does it. So, but yeah, that's the plan. Those are like $12 each, $10 each if you buy them in volume. I'm going to ask them if I can buy, like 50 of them because I'm going to have so many of these things I want to do and see what kind of price I can get on them. So yeah, that's my plan is just to do that and then be able to say, if you want Seiken Densetsu 2 or Seiken Densetsu 3, which is Secret of Mana 2, and you want the Japanese version, here it is for whatever that price is, let's say $25 or $30. If you want it converted, add $15 because I got to solder to you got to program all these things. There's some overhead, whatever it is. It'd be probably $20 because they're $12 or $10 a piece. And I still have to dump a ROM, modify it, patch it, solder it, burn it, all that stuff. So there's a little bit, but I'm not trying to make any money really doing it. It's really more about extending that stuff out to people at a much more accessible price or accessible at all for something like that because it never came out over here or Terranigma or whatever it may be.
And they're just cool looking.
Yeah. And plus they fucking look cool, man. Yeah. Secret of Mana, the Seiken Densetsu 2 is just the giant mana tree on the front, right? It's just a cool looking box. So,
and the other thing I liked about it, and you and I talked about it the other day, is the Super Nintendo carts come in those cardboard trays.
Yes.
Which basically collapse over time.
They can.
But with Famicom, they all came in plastic trays, which was awesome.
Yes, it is a little bit more of a sturdy. I feel like they're smaller and sturdier, especially when they don't get crushed as much because the plastic probably prevents them from getting crushed. Yeah. Right now, the plastic will get hot and brittle if it gets brittle. I mean, I should say the plastic will get brittle if it gets hot or whatever. That I have a few that don't have it, but luckily for me, I also have probably 75 like horse racing and pachinko games that have trays that I can use because man, some of them have very cool box art, and I should have brought some in. I almost brought some with me. I'll bring them next show or whatever. But some of them have really cool box art and stuff. And you'll look at like we were talking about. It's like, is this a mech game or is it a pachinko game? Is this like a action art or no? We'd be like, is this like the same thing? Is this a mech game? No, it's an RPG. Like what? What is the
They
the
have
art
like
is
a bunch
all
of
yeah.
like Robotech looking games.
Yes,
and then you
Mech
look
Warrior
at the back.
and Metal Mech and
Yeah, and you look at the back, and it's like, oh, that's like Dragon Warrior.
Why are these guys at a slot machine? What's happening? So, but anyway, so I'm kind of drowning in the stuff. I'll probably post a picture of kind of the grid I made of like the stuff I thought that would be most appealing to me and the people I know. I made a grid of all that, and there's so much of it already, and I still have more of it coming. So that's why I had to stop buying it, because I'm like, I don't need any more. It becomes this addictive thing where you're like, well, this stuff is relatively cheap. You get it for like, percentages of what it would cost to get these things individually.
Yeah.
And and so, and also you got to be careful on those Japanese bidding sites, because you'll get shill bid big time. They'll shill bid you up, man. Like you'll bid, and then the way the auction works is it will extend the auction 5 minutes if there's a bid within the last 5 minutes. So you'll bid, and then someone will bid against you, and then they're usually waiting for you to bid again. So 2 times now out of like the 5 or 6 auctions I've won, the last bid that I made, I'm like, that's my last price. I don't want to go any higher than that. It's still super good deal. If I don't get it at that price, I'm cool. I'll get outbid, and then like 30 seconds before the auction ends, I'll get this, hey, you're the high bidder. You won the auction. And you're like, what? I just got a thing 3 minutes ago says I was outbid or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to be careful with the shill bidding. Don't get too aggressive with the bidding at the end, because they think they pay attention and like they shill bid you up. So anyway, so that's a lot of what I've been doing besides trying to work and getting the house ready for the open house. Now, last thing that I'm up to, Amy's going to be out of town all next week. 4th of July, she leaves for a week. So I'm trying to get my hands on a monitor, and I'm ready to go restore this Mortal Kombat cabinet. So that's what I'm gonna, that unboxing and pricing and cleaning Super Famicom carts, I think is what I'm going to do while she's gone. So plan on staying a couple
one
nights.
project I'm going to put you to work on too.
Yeah, the 1250 probably, huh? Yeah. That's fine. We got to move it back over there. I know. It's so heavy. But yeah, plan on coming over and spending the night for the weekend. Right. I'll call Heather. Can Jay spend the night?
You have a sleepover, have pizza.
Bring your new kids on the block sleeping bag.
Pizza and watch The Sandlot.
Mountain Dew. Oh, hell yeah.
Sandlot right there.
Right there.
VHS, buddy.
So, but yeah, so that's what I'm up to. So if anybody's in the chat that's interested in that kind of stuff, I know Asa, you've mentioned it. Mike, you've also mentioned it. I'm happy to give you guys great deals on that kind of stuff, because when you buy these things in volume, you get them at a nice price. And it's just, if you're fine with having a lot of junk around, it's a fun thing to do. This is the kind of stuff I love doing. I like sifting through, sorting, pricing. I do like it. It's a huge time sink sometimes, but it's fun for me. So anyway. All right. So
yeah,
with all that, what are we doing here?
A podcast.
Well, it's a live stream now.
Live stream.
Eventually it'll be a podcast.
Yes.
For the people listening in their podcast aggregator of choice, this is a podcast. So yeah, you're right. It's both. You want to tell the people what we're going to talk about besides Super Famicom games? I think the lead in
I
there.
thought that was the whole episode.
If you're watching, you might have some concept. Oh, before we do that, we probably need to do our giveaway.
Oh yeah.
So,
bam.
We were going to give away Metal Gear Solid. I was not ready to do it 2 weeks ago. I had so much stuff going on. It has all finally culminated. Everything has started to settle down. We have our Wheel of Names. I believe we have 12 contestants, 10. I don't remember how many, 10. Okay. 10. We've got 10 contestants in here. I will say this. Going forward, and we will be doing more giveaways, I am going to restrict that we have to you must send the entry to the Lost Joystick Instagram account.
Only.
Because I can...
Well, either any of our...
No, just the Lost Joystick one.
Well, no, I meant Facebook or do you want to do we can hash that out.
Whatever. I'm trying to keep it all in one place, because we're now hunting in 4 different places to find entries, and I'm feeling like I'm forgetting somebody every time. Okay. So I don't want to do that.
Just Lost Joystick Instagram.
Right now. But we'll talk about that the next time we give something away, maybe we give that copy of Hades away that we still have.
Oh, do we still have that?
Yeah, remember? It's still sitting over there. Right over there with Chuck Norris Super Kicks.
Oh, that's not going anywhere.
No, that has to stay here. Chuck stays on the set.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go grab the mouse, and we're going to bring up the Wheel of Names, and we're going to give away Metal Gear Solid for the PS1.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, it is Metal Gear Solid again. Mike did etch his name into it with John's wood burner.
That's right, use the wood burner.
He really didn't. It's in pretty good shape, though.
I'm rooting for Asa, so I can send it with his copy of Tetris.
I was not gonna rat you out.
Oh, no need.
And Asa, just know I was giving him the an abnormally high amount of shit.
It truly
as
exists.
opposed to normal.
You just saw it yesterday, though, right?
It does.
It does.
And he propped it up, so he said, "I can't forget this damn thing."
And I did.
You fucker.
It's going to be Friday. Because tomorrow's... Well, it'll probably be Friday because tomorrow I got to drive Connor back all day. So,
okay.
all right.
I'm going to hold you to this, too, because this one's got to go out Friday, too, then.
Yes.
Because we're doing the drawing today.
100%. As long as they give me the address to send it to, I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let's see here. We'll go to this. And we're going to go to... Where's my thing?
Top one.
Oh, I added it to the starting soon. That's why.
Oh.
We got to go at the source again because we're morons. Which one was it? Video capture device. No, screen capture. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Add source. Edge. Yep. Cool.
It's still there. Cool.
Well, yeah, it's there. I just have to add it to this tab.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
So there we are.
Everybody should be able to see that.
Yes, I'm sure they can. I'll come down here and actually make it bigger. Let's see. There we go. And then we can hide this.
All right. Here we go.
We're going to close the ad because I don't want to see the ad.
We're going to do one spin.
We ready?
Somebody's getting Metal Gear Solid.
All right.
Tactical espionage action.
Sounds scary.
It does. It's because of espionage.
Don't look, because I know what you're going to do. You're going to think somebody's going to win it.
Eric A. He was one of our Facebook ones.
Eric
I just
actually
didn't put his full last name on.
Yeah, we didn't want to put his full name on there. Eric, he entered through Facebook. So
yes,
congratulations, Eric. I will be in touch, or Jay will be in touch, probably actually through Facebook. That's going to be your responsibility, buddy.
Sure.
So, all right. Sorry for everybody else who didn't win.
So I don't forget it.
But
we'll have plenty more drawings.
Tough luck, Chuck.
And you guys will be on, I'm sure, again.
Yep. So let's get that out of there. All right.
Okay.
So now,
Metal Gear.
Now, can we talk about what we're here to talk about?
Sure.
Cool. Let's do that. What is
Can
it?
you get us back on the screen?
No, I don't want us on the screen.
Oh, okay.
We have to have the thing so that we can see the chat.
Yeah.
Remember? I guess I could put it on the bottom.
Either way.
Go ahead. No, I got you. Go ahead.
Do you have a audio clip for me? Did you have an audio clip? No? Okay.
Of what?
I don't know. I didn't know. You added a bunch of audio clips. I didn't know if you had any for the game topic.
Oh, we'll get to that when we get to the music.
Because it's baseball.
It's, but we already did that.
What?
Well, man.
I don't know. It's fine. I'm just, I read
more
what's on
prep.
here. It's baseball.
This week in baseball.
Yeah, it's baseball.
How's that?
That's good. Thank you.
Is that what you needed?
I love that. I'm old. I love that stuff.
Who doesn't love Mel
Half the
Allen?
people on here are probably like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, probably almost everybody.
No.
Let's try.
Let's just get to what we're talking about. What do you say?
So the show topic is R.B.I. baseball.
Yes, we're going to do the series.
Yes.
Right? 1, 2, and 3. Really, we're going to concentrate on 1. I know
Well,
we
we're going to talk about.
We'll talk a little bit about 2 and 3, and not a whole lot, but like some of the differences in the games and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So, Jay, tell me about the gameplay and story of this game.
It's baseball.
This week in baseball.
I'm going to like that.
You got to stop it though. That's the whole clip with the song and
yeah,
stuff.
it keeps going.
You can't just let it go.
Yeah.
I know it's close to you. I'm gonna put like a bar up or something.
You
I'm gonna
know
get those
those
bars you put on your windows.
You know the since we're
in Flint, we need those probably.
no, we can get like the little the plastic COVID guards. That
Oh
everybody
yeah,
had.
like the sneeze guard.
Yeah,
for
you can just get one of those.
just get it right here. No, you won't be able to hear me anymore. You'll be isolated. It'll be great.
I can hear you through the headphones.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it'll still work. Okay.
So anyway, yes.
R.B.I. baseball.
Good.
Wow, we said that at the same time. That was awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about the R.B.I. baseball series. It was what?
It was baseball.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Oh, so it was developed and released by Namco.
Yeah, so like we're gonna focus here on 1, right?
Yes.
The series itself, especially at the beginning, was Namco. Then
Yes.
Namco. Well, you just read it. Yeah, sorry. Let's start that over. I'm sorry. I don't know why I had to interject there. Go ahead. So Jay, well, hold on. You gotta stop laughing. So Jay, tell me a little bit about the background and development of the R.B.I. baseball series, and more specifically, R.B.I. baseball 1.
R.B.I. baseball 1. So it was developed and released by Namco as Pro. I'm going to slaughter this. Pro
Yaku Family Stadium for Famicom.
Yes. The developer was Yoshiro
Yoshihiro Kishimoto.
Why am I reading this? I'm terrible.
Yeah, let
at
me
this.
read this part. I
Okay.
got you.
Mike, tell me about the background and development of R.B.I. baseball.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, Jay. Yes, it was developed by Yoshihiro Kishimoto. He also worked on, obviously, the Family Stadium series. That is what the
Which would
series of these
be
games are.
R.B.I. 1, 2, and 3.
We're going to let John talk when he's on to discuss a little bit more about the Family Baseball or Family Stadium baseball series and all that stuff. So, and that's one of the things I've learned. By having these games around, I now know Yakyu means baseball. Not just from this, but from being surrounded by baseball games for the Super Famicom. Also, did you know that the word no in Japanese means of? That's right. I know 2 words now. I also know how to say good morning. Do you know how to say good morning in Japanese?
I know how to say. We have a link tree.
Do you?
No.
Ohio.
Don't ever do that again. Please don't.
It's Ohio. That's good morning.
Yeah, so definitely don't do it again.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, so it was really split tangent. Okay, so the story behind the game was Yoshihiro played Nintendo's baseball with some colleagues when they were, at Namco, and they kind of saw some room for improvement. Like they noticed that there were no player-specific abilities. Everybody was the exact same. There were no player names, that kind of stuff. And he was working on a game called Toy Pop, which was a shooter, which was recently released on a PS whatever bundle. I don't remember. It was PS1. I don't remember. That's not recent, but whatever. And once that game was done, he didn't really have much to do. He said he went to his boss and said, "What should I be doing?" And basically the boss was like,
Whatever you want.
"Whatever you want." Yeah, I felt like it was like Kruger. You know what I mean? Like in Seinfeld, where he's like, "I locked my keys in my office." Well, I'm going home. Like he didn't really care what happened. Like, just do whatever you want. And he was like, all right, I'm going to do a baseball game. So we did the baseball game, right? Told you he worked on the Family Stadium series, which was, again, the baseball series we're talking about now, R.B.I. baseball here in the West. He worked on the Star Wars games for Famicom and Pac-Land, right? And he left. He started there, I think, in 1994, and he left in 2001 to go to Koei, who, again, as I reference our earlier discussion on Super Famicom games, I have a very tall stack of Koei games. If you like tactical RPGs based in feudalist Japan, I got you covered.
You're their guy.
I'm your guy. Cool box art. If you like it, it's really cool. But it's like, I don't really like these games in English.
So can we backtrack?
I don't even understand how to play them in English. Anyway.
We're going to backtrack a little bit. So tonight's show topic is Famicom.
Yeah, exactly. Super Famicom.
No, it's
Super.
Yeah, Super Famicom.
Yeah, come on. Get with the program. Have you heard of the Super Famicom? Or have you ever heard of the Famicom? It's back in super form.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but he left there. He left to go to Koei in 2001, where he was producer on Crimson Sea, which is an Xbox exclusive. I don't remember exactly what the game was, but I did read about it. And then Romance of the Three Kingdom, which was a PSP port, the PSP port of 5 through 8 of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which again, I probably have all of those at home sitting there in a box. He left Koei in 2010, and this aligns with my interests. Anyway. He left Koei in 2010 to become the assistant professor of media arts at Tokyo University. So he stopped developing games and started to teach people how to develop games. He wrote a book. Where did I put the title of that here? I forget if I did. I don't know if I did. Anyway, he wrote a book, again, about creating games. And he is also known as Kissy. And this was the most interesting part of this whole research I did. He has a website that he curates to this day, 26 years now, about omurice, OMURICE.com. Omurice is like this omelet rice, eggy rice dish.
It sounds delicious.
And go to his site, go to omurice.com, because
I was going to look up his book first.
Kissy, it looks like a page that was written in 1996 and has been maintained manually since then. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it has every review he's ever done of omurice, and he goes all over and like eats them and reviews them. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because I like looked him up and there was a link to his Twitter. I go to his Twitter, and the first thing I see is this like omelet thing with what looks like this very fine tomato sauce like kind of draped over it. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I look, I'm like, oh, The guy's big into Amorites. So yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to the game.
So when I searched his name, it came up with Buddy Spirits.
That's not it. No,
Okay.
don't worry about
That
the book.
doesn't- Okay.
I'm going to edit all this out.
I'm going back to Ami Rice.
Yeah, you just go to the amurice.com.
Okay, I'll do that. You keep
All
talking.
right. So this game was released in arcades in the Nintendo Versus system. But it was by Atari. Atari put it out as Atari R.B.I. Baseball. And it was then localized for American audiences in 97 for the NES by a guy named Peter Lipson. And it was published by Atari, the Atari game subsidiary Tengen, right? So this is one of, see,
That's
there's
a
the
damn delicious looking omelet.
I'd eat it. So this is one of the 3 licensed NES games that were released by Tengen. Can you rename the other 2, Jay?
The 3 licenses, and did you put the other 2 on there? You did,
No.
fucker.
This is trivia time. You're going to get hit with a couple of trivia questions.
And we watched that video
We
earlier,
just
too.
watched the video.
I
It was
know.
right in front of your face. There are 3 Tengen gray carts. Woo.
Well, RBI Baseball, of course, was one.
Correct. It's right there.
Was Gauntlet one of them?
Yes.
I can't remember the third, though.
Do you need a hint?
Yep.
I'm not going to give you one.
Dick. I can't remember.
Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there it is. Gauntlet and Pac-Man, says John. He
Oh,
knows.
yeah,
You
because
should've-
they had the, that was their big marketing deal, was Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Like, they were doing Pac-Man everything, like they were showing in that video.
they did, but that was before. That is not related. I'll cut this out, but that was not related.
Oh, I thought it was.
No.
I'm going to go back
The
to
big
looking into
market
his
push was
omelets.
well before this. So, yeah, this is one of the 3 Tengen games that were released as gray cards. And what I found out is, because I was really confused, because I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole right now, but RBI Baseball 1, 2, and 3 are all on black Tengen cartridges, the unlicensed carts, right? Like that whole Atari versus Nintendo and
Yeah.
them ripping off the 10 NES code and making their own rabbit chip, and, and basically circumventing their licensing to release games independently. They were the first unlicensed games. But I was very confused about how did 1, 2, and 3 come out on the black carts, but 1 came out on the gray cart. And it dawned on me as I started to go through the timeline, right? This game came out in 88, and we'll talk about exactly when in a little bit on the NES. But they released all those in 88. Well, it was late 88 in that December of 88 when they finally figured out how to circumvent it. Then they started putting out their own games until they were forced no longer to do that in 92.
Yeah.
So what happened is these came out licensed. They didn't like the licensing terms and all that stuff. So whatever, they were like, we're going to find a way around this. They did illegally. And then they put out their own games. So 1, 2, and they re-released RBI Baseball 1 in
On
their
the
own black cart.
In their,
And then they put 2 and then 3, and then they got their ass shut down in 1992.
that omelet looks delicious. Okay,
You got to stop. You just ate like a half of a Taco Bell like 10 minutes ago.
half, like an entire building.
Yeah, kind of. Well, and that and those donuts. So did I, though, so it's fine. I had the other half.
Either way.
We split it. Yeah, this was the first console game. RBI Baseball was the first console game that was licensed by the MLBPA. And what that means is you don't have team names because you're not licensed to use. That's the MLB license, right?
Yes.
MLBPA means you can use the player names, right?
And so everybody knows, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but so everybody knows from a sports standpoint, if you're not a big sports person, MLB, of course, is Major League Baseball, which is they own the rights to all the Major League Baseball teams. Yeah, all the franchises, the logos, all that stuff. The MLBPA is the Major League Baseball Players Association. Basically, that's the baseball players union. So when you looked at RBI Baseball, that's why the names that are on that are the actual, those were licensed because of the MLBPA. That's my phone. Those were licensed by the MLBPA, or the names were able to be used by the MLBPA Players Association. So that's why you could see that, but then you would see the teams were Boston, California, Houston, Detroit.
Right.
Those were the different teams because they couldn't use the Boston Red Sox or the Detroit Tigers.
You can't use
or
the trademarked
Houston Astros
logos and names.
Yes.
So
But they
that's
could
an
use the players' names.
excellent segue because this game, the first game, featured 8 teams and 2 divisions.
Yes.
Division 1 was Boston, California, Houston, and New York. Division 2 was Detroit, Minnesota, St. Louis, and San Francisco. Why did they choose those teams?
I don't know. They were just the major. Those were the major cities.
Nope.
Oh.
and I didn't know this until I read this. I never pieced this together. This game was programmed in 1987 originally, right?
Yes.
It was brought over here in 87.
Yeah.
1986 playoff teams: Boston, California, Houston, and New York. 1987 playoff teams: Detroit, Minnesota, St. Louis, San Francisco. That's why.
Oh.
I thought that was very interesting.
That is interesting.
So there were 10 total teams though, because they had all-star teams as well. So you have the American League and National League all-star teams, and on those teams were players that weren't available to play with in any other way. So like George Brett, who played for Kansas City, he wasn't on any of those teams.
There were no Kansas City team.
Mike Schmidt
was the Phillies.
Dale Murphy, Andre Dawson. Those guys are all veterans. And then you had some of the younger guys like Canseco, McGuire, Galarraga, and Kevin Seitzer. I'm not sure how he made the list, but I'm like, okay. But he was an up-and-coming prospect in 1987, to be fair. He was.
Yes.
But you could not play as any of those guys because they played for teams like the Expos or the A's, or none of those, and they had not made the playoffs those 2 years. So this game was interesting because kind of one thing that they talked about in the development part, where Yoshihiro there wanted to give players different attributes. That's exactly what they did. So you have pitchers who are better because they have lower ERA or they have more stamina. Their attributes are they can throw faster, they can curve the ball better, whatever it is. And you have runners that are faster, like that like, you know, some runners run faster than others, although you can't really see, there's no way to determine that other than to use them. So
you could see that. I think that was more when we played through. I think it was more prevalent in 2 that was noticeable. Because I think about so we were joking. Ricky Henderson was on one of the teams you played with.
I'm gonna tell you, yes, he was faster.
He was on, and he seemed like substantially like he was. I think you gotta basically it would have been a ground. It would have been an.
Everybody else gets out, but Ricky Henderson makes it to first base or second, steals second base. So my question to you is, who is the fastest runner in this game? Who would you say is the fastest runner? Looking at that, these 8 teams, and you can disregard the veterans because they're not any of them. Look at those 8 teams that are part of this game. Who would you think is the fastest runner in this game?
Oh, geez.
Another trivia time. I need a little clock or something for you here,
well,
like a little sound.
Terrible about this.
As soon as I tell you, you're going to be upset. This is going to be so obvious once I tell you.
Trammell.
No.
I'm just grabbing the straws.
Vince Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
And there's actually a video. It might be part of the stream over here that I got going.
Yeah.
It says, "Can you stop Vince Coleman on the bases in R.B.I. baseball?" He's like the Bo Jackson of R.B.I. baseball, where you can't. He's so fast you can't stop him. Yeah. Like he gets on base and that's it, man. Like you're screwed
unless you throw it to the cutoff guy.
He's the Willie Mays Hayes of R.B.I. baseball. No, he would absolutely make it if you throw it to the cutoff guy like you did. Yeah. We'll get to all that in a minute too. Yeah. But yeah, there's no difference in the fielding. All the fielding attributes are the same, which really sucks because man, you have some guys that should be out there doing a little better than they do, and they're all so slow. Like the fielding is so slow in this game. Also, one of the things that annoys me, I'm going to get into my personal experience with it. I hate baseball games where if you're controlling one guy, you're controlling 2 guys because you're trying to catch like a ground ball and you miss it and you're running him to the right, and then all of a sudden your left fielder's who you need, and now he's all the way to the right and the ball goes to his left, and you're like, no.
Trust me, I had that happen a couple times.
Yeah, it's true. There are actual rules implemented in this game. So like, remember Jay and I played this game and we played RBI baseball too. At one point, Jay tried to bunt with 2 strikes and it went foul and you were out.
Yeah.
So an interesting, baseball rule that if you try and bunt with 2 strikes and it's foul, it's a strike and you strike out.
Yeah.
But if you're not familiar with baseball rules, this is going to be boring, and it might be already anyway, so I'm sorry. But there's no infield fly rule, right? So the infield fly rule is if you hit the ball, pop the ball up in the infield, you can't intentionally drop it, and the runner is safe. They don't have to advance, all that, whatever. You're automatically out is essentially what it is, right? So there's no infield fly rule. Walks equal hits in your box. Like at the end of the half innings, they show you a big scoreboard and they show you the box score across, and then how many of things like hits or errors or walks or whatever it is. Walks count as hits. This is just in the first one. And errors count as hits, even though the other team gets credited with an error. So it's both an error and a hit, according to the game.
Which in regular baseball, it's not.
No, it would be one or the other.
Yes. Correct.
And then hitters who get like like maybe they've hit a base hit, but they're trying to get a double or triple and they get thrown out. That doesn't count as a hit. Because my guess is because in the programming world, they never safely make it to a base. You never register that they're on first or second or third, so they can't count it as a hit. So they figured it out much later.
And I want to talk about the next part.
Yes, yeah, I'll let you talk about the next part here.
I'm going to show a little bit of humility here. So they do have a mercy rule. We learned the mercy rule playing.
Well,
because
go ahead.
The first game we played was R.B.I. baseball, and I lost that game. Was it 13-2?
13-1. Yes.
In the fifth inning, and that's where we learned.
Fourth inning.
Fourth inning. That's where we learned there was
It
a
just
mercy
ended
rule.
after the bottom of the fourth.
Like, game
We're
over.
and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about this.
Yeah, so I got smoked in that game. I was atrocious.
Now, we also played RBI baseball too. You improved 100%. Both ends.
Yeah. Well, I still
Basically.
couldn't get past the cutoff guy.
No.
My problem
But you
was
only
if
gave
I
up
was trying to
7
pick
runs,
off.
and you got 2, including a bomb to dead center field. You hit a huge home run.
I hit the only home run in the game.
You did.
In both games.
You did.
With Jay Buhner.
What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for? He had 100 RBIs last year. He's got a rocket for an arm. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Anyway.
Everybody out here is like, what the fuck?
Now, they know more about what I just said than they do
Yeah, true.
Jay Buhner, I promise you. Anyway, and sometimes player attributes are wrong. So like you were talking about Griffey. Remember Griffey batted right-handed when he's actually left-handed in RBI baseball too. In RBI
'cause we got
baseball
the
1.
whole topic of maybe it's his dad. And
Yeah, and then
nope, he was lefty too.
Bats left as well. So yeah, George Brett hits left-handed in real life, but he hits right-handed in the game. And all switch hitters in the game bat left-handed exclusively in that version of the game. And then when we move into RBI baseball 2 and 3, all the MLB teams become represented. And in RBI baseball 3, there are actually different rosters of teams that you can choose from of specific teams. So like the Tigers, everybody had their 1990 roster, and some teams only had their 1990 roster. But someone like the Tigers, they had the 84 team, the 87 team, and the 90 team. The Royals had the 85 team because they won the World Series that year, or the Brewers had the 83 team, or whatever it was, those types of things.
But they still didn't. None of the games
Orioles
still had the
83.
rights to the Major League Baseball rights for the teams.
This is
They
still
were
just
still
MLBPA.
always-
Yes.
Yeah, it
it's
was-
just the rosters and player names. It is not the team name.
It was still Detroit.
That did not
Boston.
change.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the music and sound on this game. I'm going to let you lead us in, and then we're going to tell us a little bit about who composed the music for this game.
So all 3 games were composed by Norio
Nagata.
Nagata. I actually put on here, AKA Mr.
Nakata.
N, because that's what was listed on his thing. Yeah. And ironically, when I found info on him, it wasn't a Wikipedia page, but it was similar. The image of him was like he was DJing at a rave, and
Hell
he was
yeah.
wearing a Star Trek uniform.
Was Kissy there with his
He might have
Alrice?
been. It was just like a picture of just like the DJ table and him.
They were all blasted out on ecstasy,
So yeah,
eating on rice, listening to, I don't know, the Future Sounds of London or something. What kind of rave you might have listened to in the late 80s, early 90s? I don't know.
So, but he worked at Namco early on. He also worked at KID.
I don't know what that is.
That was the Kindle Image Design, I think is what it was. I don't know what it was.
No.
It was just something
Whatever.
listed on there. And then he worked for it's Meldak, right?
Yes, Meldak.
And then he did Zombie Nation for that. Really, the main things he did that were probably the most notable or that anybody would know was the 3 RBI baseball games.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know,
what do
Zombie
you think-
Nation.
Yeah, Zombie Nation.
You know the shooter that takes place in 1999 where the head of a zombie flies around and shoots people? I don't even know what the hell goes on in that game. That game's fucked.
Yes.
It's not a surprise that game did not sell well.
So I do have to ask, though, what did you think about the music from the RBI series?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Let me tell you something about this music. This shit, as the kids say, slaps. Because you got that, then you get,
Listen to that bass in there.
but this isn't even the best one. The best one's coming up, buddy. Just let it ride. Give it a little air.
Oh, he went up a step.
Mr. N knows what's up. This is the guy who DJs raves. And then my personal favorite.
I told you my stance on this. I feel like it's a dude playing a bass super high. Like he's got it just under his chin, and he's finger picking it. And I've been listening to Mike doing that for the last 3 hours today.
I love this song.
You should be walking around going do 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 do.
Right into the mic.
Yes.
Do 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 do.
Well, thanks everybody for coming to the show tonight.
You can't tell me that, like, the second I put that game on and that song came on, the guy was up to bat, you were like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a banger.
That shit is funky. So anyway, but yeah, I'm going to tell you, I love this. It has all your, it's funny too, because it's all your basic, it has like the chicken dance. It has like the, what's the walk, whatever, like all the very popular songs that you would hear at a baseball game. There are bits and pieces of them in this game.
And what we learned tonight playing,
Hold on. Go ahead.
What we learned tonight playing R.B.I. 3, you actually you pick two teams. You pick the Tigers and then you pick the Expos, or Detroit and Montreal. In the opening, they play the national anthem.
That is correct.
And then they played the Canadian national anthem right after.
By chance, we chose Montreal as the team we were playing against because we chose Detroit because the Tigers rule and everybody else can suck it. Even though
this year.
they are not very good. They are not very good. But it played the national anthem and then it played I was like, what's it doing? What's taking so long? I'm like, oh, it's the Canadian national anthem. I see.
Which was kind of cool.
So this will go as long as we let it, by the way. That's what I love about it.
Did you put like a 45-minute version of it on there?
God, I wish. No.
We're done. We're just going to turn this up and go home.
I just figured out
Thanks
how
for
the
coming on,
Roadcaster
everybody.
actually works, and I was able to loop it in here. So it'll go as long as I wanted to now. So we'll just let it run in the background for a minute. Jay, why don't you tell me about the funky release of this album? I mean, game. Yeah.
Yes, I can. So all the release dates we have are just for R.B.I. baseball, not for 2 or 3. So in Japan, it was released on the Famicom by Namco, December 10th, 1986. It was also in Japan on the arcade for Atari.
Before you get too far down that road,
Easy.
what a weird time. Wait a minute. Well, I never thought about this. December 10th, 1986 seems like a weird time to put out a baseball game. The only reason I can see that you would do it
Is that the summer solstice?
there's 2 reasons you'd do it. As far as I know, I can only think there's 2 reasons. Number 1, Christmas rush.
Yes, 2 weeks before Christmas.
People scamp, they're looking for games to buy for Christmas. No, they're in the Northern Hemisphere.
I was being smart.
That's what I was like. I was thinking to myself, they don't have like summer in January.
No.
Like, well, I'm like sitting here thinking, like, why would it be in December? What a weird time. I mean, to sell games maybe, but like, this seems like the kind of game that would come out like in May or something to me. Like, like right as the season's about to start, April or March or something. Not December. It doesn't seem like you want to put your new baseball game out in December. I don't know. Anyway, tell me about the arcade version.
You really had nothing with that. It was just a random.
That was it.
Oh.
There was no lead up to anything.
Oh, I thought you literally like had a story. You're like, that's all there is to the story.
That's it. I don't understand why you put a baseball game out.
I think the Christmas theory is a really good idea.
It's all I can come up with.
So, and I don't know what's the Japan leagues? Do they run the same do they run parallel to?
That's my point. Wouldn't they have to? I'll look it up.
Why don't you look that up while we're talking? So, but yeah, the Japan, the arcade.
You mean the Yaku leagues?
Yes. The Japan, in Japan, the arcade that was released under Atari, it came out in September of 87. Then in US, NES, it was under Tengen, which was previously Atari. Came out in June of 1988.
Subsidiary of
yes.
the Atari.
Came out in June of 1998. And then Australia.
See, now that makes sense to me, though.
What? Oh, June. Yeah,
it came out in
season.
June. The Nippon Professional Baseball Organization. Opening day is March 25th. They're on the same schedule we are.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So September's a good time too because that's playoff season.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So the arcade that was smart too.
You could get the traded series of the game.
Yeah. So, but then in Australia, for the Nintendo, It was released under HES.
They released all the games in Australia.
Okay,
It was
okay.
Home Entertainment System. I forget what it is. There's a whole subset of NES games by HES that are from Australia.
Oh, okay.
And I will say, R.B.I. Baseball 3 seemed like a tough one to find because it was one of the few ones I was able to look up and see a box of, and I was like, ooh, that looks expensive.
So that one came out in 1989. So, and then as far as the reception goes,
Yeah, let's talk about the reception of this game.
yeah, you want to take that Tiger?
So this game sold just over 2 million copies worldwide, which made it the 28th best-selling NES/Famicom game ever. I want you to guess, what two games is it wedged between? This is just a guess. I don't expect you. No one's going to know this. Robbie knows because I talked to him about it yesterday. One of them's behind me. I know what you're thinking. It's not Mike.
No, Mike was too late. That was late. It was what, 2 years after? Year? After?
No, it's not. That has to do with how many it sold.
Oh, okay.
It's the 28th best-selling game. So the 27th and the 29th were what?
I'm going to say Pitt might have something to do with that. Really?
Nope.
Dragon Warrior then.
Yep.
Okay, so Dragon Warrior. Or
Dragon Warrior was the
Quest, as John
29th.
said.
Yes. Dragon Quest was the 29th best-selling, 2 million copies. 1.5 million in Japan, 500,000 given away in the United States. As I read about that, because based on my duplicate counts, that's a good point. So, Robbie and I were actually talking about this yesterday, and it got me interested in figuring out, like, okay, maybe it was just the ones that sold versus the number they gave away. They gave away around 500,000 is what I read. So, anyway.
And I would, if I'm going to guess 27th, and I know it's wrong.
It's a random guess. It's a Nintendo published game.
Oh, then
But it's not a black box game.
then I would have missed. I was going to say Kung Fu.
It was developed by Rare. It involved remote control cars and a profession.
RC Pro-Am.
Yeah. So RC Pro-Am was the 27th best-selling game for the NES of all time.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. And the 29th best was Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest, right? And this was smack dab in the middle at 2.05 million copies sold. So that takes us to the LJM game ratings.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
This game also won some awards. I don't really know. People liked it. That's my summary. I played the shit out of this game. We'll talk about that in a minute.
So are we going in order on the list here? Or
Let's go in order of the list this time.
Okay.
All right.
It's that time.
I guess we got to call Robbie.
Yep. Let me get you your page while you're dialing. I know I'm not allowed to touch.
What are you doing?
I'm just getting you to the...
I know you're good. I'm just kidding. It's this one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's call our buddy.
See if we get... We did have some audio difficulties earlier, so if Robbie only comes from one side of your speaker while you're listening
Yeah,
to
I'm not
this,
sure what that's about.
It's us.
Let's see what we can do here.
We're hoping it's not.
We'll know when it rings.
If it is, we're going to blame John.
Cool.
Oh, hey, it works.
Yeah, let's blame John.
Hello.
And now, the Grip King of Chicago. While you're snoozing, he's schmoozing. The one and only 8-Bits Pharmacy Robbie Coleman, everybody. I'm bad! Mr. Coleman, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Jay just found out
Jay?
today that you have a second Instagram account he has no idea about.
I did.
Yeah, I'm a pretty private dude.
Yeah. He said, "What's this secret Instagram account with Robbie all over?" I was like, "You mean the other one with his dog and skateboarding videos?" Like, what?
Yeah, you mean my personal one that I don't want all these fucking hobbyist nerds to find out about?
Oh,
Oh, we'll edit this out. It's a
No, it's okay. I got no shame. I got nothing to hide. I
Okay.
have nothing to hide.
whew, man. Like, thank
I
God.
basically started 8-Bit Supremacy because I didn't want to irritate all my normal people friends that didn't give a shit about video games.
That's what
with
I did
my
too.
Video game content, because I'm like, I'm. It's like oppressive how nerdy I am with all that. So like, they would be bummed out by it.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could see
A
that.
lot of my friends are like into it, and they're aware that I have the separate video game page and stuff. They're like, whoever's down is down, but I don't want to just shove that in everyone's faces all the time. So.
Yes.
I did the same thing when I was doing the beer stuff. I had a different one for because I would post beer stuff all the time.
Nice to categorize it and keep it, isolated like that. I don't know. That's just me.
Listen,
and a lot of my friends didn't want to see that. They didn't care.
Clark Kent isn't out there waving Superman in everybody's face.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect analogy, I'd say.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you, sir?
I think you already asked that, but I'm well.
Good. And so thanks for making me feel so stupid.
I didn't mean to be a dick.
No.
Said that,
Okay, I'm done asking the questions. Jay, you ask them.
How are you, Robbie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your birthday? Actually, I gotta ask you about that. I haven't talked to you.
Yeah. Birthday was good. Did we? When was the last time we recorded? What was the last episode?
It was 2 weeks ago. It was
Typing of the Dead, baby.
Oh yeah,
it was the day before your birthday.
My bad. Yeah, no, birthday was good. Saw Tears for Fears. Garbage opened. It was very like old person show. We had to drive out to the burbs and we sat in an outdoor auditorium. And it was like didn't see a single black person in sight because we were in the Chicago suburbs. And that was the show itself was good. Tears for Fears played a lot of songs that were great and then a lot of songs that were awful. They kept alternating between the two, and it was really weird because everybody would stand up and all excitedly every time they play a good song and then play some boring like jam band song and everybody would like slowly sit down again.
Yeah,
Did they play Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
They did. I mean, they played everything. They played everything that everybody wanted to hear, inevitably, but like they kept alternating. They kept alternating, and I was like, God, this is so annoying. I'm like, I want to like play a block of good songs. That'd be cool.
Yeah, when I went to see, like, I attribute it to like, not that Tears for Fears is Paul McCartney, but like, you go see Paul McCartney, it's like, here's some stuff from my latest record, or here's some stuff from the 80s or 90s, and then like the last half an hour or 45 minutes or whatever, it's just wall to wall hits, right? I don't understand why you would be like. Like here's Everybody Wants to Rule the World, or here's Sowing the Seeds of Love, and then they're like, and here's a new one off our new album. It's like, bro, get off the stage.
One of those new ones off whatever album was like so ridiculous and like long and all over the place that my lady was like, is this a fucking Spinal Tap song? Like, she was just like,
the Jazz Odyssey.
So it was good?
The bass player wrote it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In theory, it should have been good if it was a Spinal Tap song.
Yeah.
No, it's just a buzzkill because you're like, this is awesome. I'm sitting back down now. Okay, we're back to awesome again. Like, why not just be awesome all at once? It's fine.
I'm gonna earn a lot of flack right now.
Yeah. No new stuff. Get to the work and overtime part.
I was just thinking when you said the whole Paul McCartney thing, I'm thinking, here's 99% of the songs from Wings.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Wings sucked.
Look.
The only good Wings song is the one that Guns N' Roses covered.
Jet's good.
Wings suck.
Look, man, all your credibility for music went out the window when you accidentally played a Counting Crows song earlier.
First of all, it wasn't an accident. Okay, I'm gonna start there. Yes. Second of all, I'll give you my top 20 albums of all time, and their first album's in it. But that's about the only album of that type that would be in it. The rest of their stuff I don't care for, but their first album is amazing.
We need to do that in the chat. We'll do that in the chat.
You're more of a Blues Traveler kind of guy. I understand.
I mean, I learned from the best there, Nickelback.
Hey, man, running around. I thought it was pretty good with how quick I responded.
No, birthday was cool. I always keep my birthday pretty low key. I don't know how many people even knew about it aside from you guys, just because by happenstance.
And now we're telling the world.
Yeah,
you dumb bitch. Sorry, go ahead. I haven't even been drinking tonight.
Not much else interesting has happened since. One weird thing, completely random, happened. This isn't the weird thing. This is a totally normal thing. But I discovered a bar that's in walking distance from my apartment has one arcade machine in it.
Guess what it is, Jay? Guess what the one arcade machine is?
Take a wild guess at what it is.
Mortal Kombat.
Which one?
Of the Mortal Kombat.
Which one?
Yes.
Ultimate.
Yes.
Yes. And I was like, damn, because I've been like searching the city high and low, going to all these like pretty subpar barcades, finding like a nice UMK3 to play on. I found a few different bars in the city, and they kind of sucked. there's something wrong with one side or whatever. But this one's right down the street from me. And I was like, holy shit, it's like right under my nose. Like a friend of mine told me about it.
Slipping.
Was that the jackhammer?
What?
No,
Was that
don't
the
listen to him.
jackhammer? I'm being
Don't
smart.
listen to him.
Okay.
Don't listen to him.
I didn't hear it anyway, so
Yeah, we're good.
Go
We're
on,
good.
move
We're
on.
good.
This will get
We're good.
edited
I'm
out.
being a
Move on.
smartass.
Just move on.
the fucking bar had a fucking UMK3 machine. That's cool. I met up with a homie there just to play some rounds, and like it worked well. So I'm like, cool. Walking distance from my place, like a solid UMK3 cab to play on when I feel like it. Great. When we were in there, the bartender, this like old punk dude, is like covered head to toe in patches.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
stuff like that.
I remember
He was
this
like,
now.
hey, you guys you like the game? You like old games, man? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, you ever hear of a game called Crime City? And I was like, actually, yeah, like an old like arcade. It's like an old beat 'em up. I think we had it at Logan Arcade for a little bit, but it's not there anymore. It was like belonged to somebody else. That doesn't matter. But I knew what he was talking about, and he was like, the punk guy getting punched in the face with a mohawk on the marquee. That's me, man. That was me. Like I was like, holy shit, man. Like when did that game come out? He's like, I
87, 88.
1986.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or
Based
maybe
on the
I'm-
graphics of that arcade cabinet, 86, 87, 88. Yeah, there's one at Galloping Ghost.
Yeah, 86, I think is what he said. And I was like, wow, man. Like he's pretty fucking old, but like he's just old punk guy still bartending. He still had the mohawk, and he's like, check out, man. He like took his hat off and like flopped this little mohawk around for me. I'm like, can I take a picture of you, man? Because like I got a friend who would appreciate this. And he's like, yeah, sure. And like talked about it. He's like, yeah, they roped a few of my buddies in, like, and he started pointing all the guys out on the marquee. He's like, that's Skinhead Joe, and that's so and so. He's like, was just saying
But he's a
their
good
names, like,
skinhead.
they're-
He's not a Nazi skinhead. He was one of the
no,
good
he's
ones.
he's a good, yeah, one of the good ones. But like, he was just saying all this stuff. He's like, yeah, they paid us $800 for the day. We like got to eat as much pizza and have as much beer as we wanted and play all the games at the warehouse, and then that was it. And then
That'd
like,
be awesome.
He forgot to mention that he was also the crew hired to clean the whole place up too. Like they were there to clean it up, but we'll just take some pictures of you at the same time.
Shit, I wouldn't even want the $800. They'd give me pizza and beer and video games. I would have been down.
Yeah, no, he got some.
Well,
I'm like,
and
shit,
then-
keep the $800. I'm good.
I'll take it.
But I was like, wow, this is a really random factoid. B, I'm sure you've told the story to so many people and they don't give a shit.
They don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, 'cause I barely knew what Crime City was like until a few years ago.
You're the target market.
Yeah, I
You're
really
the
was.
prime
I
demographic.
was like, hey man, I actually appreciate this story. You know, I slipped him an extra $2 for his tip, and he's like, oh man, I got more stories I can make up for you on the spot, man. Like, he was all excited. So that was weird.
I
And then,
used to
like,
hang out
but
with
he-
Abe Froman.
He
Sausage
made
King of
me pull.
Chicago.
I started like pulling up, images on my phone so he could point himself out to me from the artwork. And then like there's like a huge promo flyer with the dude with a purple mohawk for Crime City for like arcades to like buy the game and
Yep.
put it in the arcade. And he's like on it. He's like, yeah, that's me. And like they singled him out for like the ad.
That's awesome.
So that guy bartends at the place that's down the street that has Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 yet. So I will be
So what
chatting with him more.
what you're saying is, I need to come into town and just come hang out. And we play Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and hang out for the dude from the arcade
Yeah.
cabinet.
I'm gonna hang out with the Crime City Mohawk punk guy. So
That's
that's the random weird thing that happened to me within last week. That was like, only me, right? And I was
yeah.
like, I don't
Well,
know.
Robbie, you have the best stories.
you thrust yourself into these situations. You know.
Well, like I was saying in the last episode, like Chicago's just like been forever a video game town. So like literally, people are just everywhere. It just seems that way.
I think
Like,
it's
all
just
the
your Mortal
industry-
Kombat stories are what are great to me. Because all I think
Well,
about
they
is
just
this
seem-
one
they just
now.
seem to keep-
You
they
need to
seem
call.
keep popping up.
You need to call that bar and be like, "Do you have Mortal Kombat for Sega Genesis?"
I should keep calling. I should probably do some version of that.
Will you try to buy the cabinet?
To try to buy the cabinet because I do want to try to fucking work an angle to buy the cabinet.
Yeah,
That's like my master plan now, to try to be like, because I was already shaking this guy down. I was like, hey, where'd this machine come from? Like that's kind of I think how we started talking. And
Yeah.
to begin with, so I was like, hey, who? He's like, oh, some Polish lady owns it and rents it to it. He was telling me who. I couldn't make sense of the story too much because he liked to ramble and
Well,
anyway.
but you're always
I was
working
like-
an angle. You're always schmoozing like me. You're like,
always. But I was
But-
like, well, maybe this
so
dive bar will come off this machine if I dangle money in front of their face.
John's
Like,
out there
that is-
listening. John's out there listening.
Yeah.
Tell him about the person that owns the place.
It's an old Polish woman. So John, let's get your wife over here. We can start talking to each other in Polish about brokering the UMK3
Exactly.
cabinet to me. And I don't know. I have no idea how this plans to form, but just get her over to Chicago. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, it's funny. All right, so
Anyway,
let's
sorry.
get to, no, you're good. This is why we're here. So let's talk a little bit about R.B.I. baseball. I want to hear about your personal experiences with it, and then your rating on this game.
Sure. I love R.B.I. baseball dearly in a nostalgic sense. It was one of the games I borrowed from a kid in my neighborhood back in the day. I later graduated to play Bad News Baseball, which it's my favorite baseball game on the NES and one of my favorite games in general on the NES.
Not bad.
Besides Bad Dudes.
I thought you said Bad Dudes
R.B.I.
baseball, not Bad News baseball.
Oh, that would be insane.
Oh my God, bad dudes baseball.
Bad Dudes
Oh,
Data
baseball.
East.
I got to do a ROM hack. We got to do a ROM
I
hack.
mean, I think Data East made Bad Dudes Baseball, right? No, it's Tecmo. I'm poser alert. It's Tecmo.
Poser alert, he says.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Ooh,
Cold
are
Karnov
you
could
bad
be the,
enough dude to bunt?
Cold Karnov could be the cleanup hitter.
Yeah, are you a bad enough dude to bunt on the third strike?
That's right. That's tough, man. Jay did it, and he got struck out.
I did.
That's not something you trifle with. You either do it or you don't.
I kind of
You
did
better-
on both games.
Yeah, that's.
Just saying.
I can't
Go
help
ahead,
how
Robbie,
bad you
sorry.
are. Dude.
What are we talking about again? Oh yeah,
I don't know.
RBI baseball.
Bad dudes.
So I love the game. I definitely played Bad News Baseball, and then my next door neighbor, who I always reference in the show, the Instagrammer formerly known as Cart McGinn, who I still know to this day. He had Little League Baseball, which was basically Baseball Stars, but just like Little League version. Also, by the way, I'm getting distracted because someone's lighting up the fucking group text.
I guess.
You got to knock it off.
You
whoever's
know, it's not
texting.
me. That's not me.
John, retro game enthusiast. He's distracting me. Knock it off.
It's all part of his plan.
Trying to tell my coming of age baseball NES game.
This is an important therapeutic moment in my life. You
Yeah.
have to listen.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
Damn
no
it.
one cares.
I care.
Anyway, RBI was great until I discovered Bad News Baseball, and then that just kind of took over. But I still love it, and recently I actually had time to play some games. So I popped in RBI Baseball last week, and I ran through the whole thing, and it was great. The main drawback was the fielding, where I was like, because I'm just like so used to being able to dive and jump for balls, and you just
yes.
in the baseball game, not in real life.
In RBI Baseball
And,
1, you can't do any of that stuff. You just plod
Yeah,
along
and
in your
it's
chubby
pretty
little
debilitating.
uniform.
It's pretty debilitating because you're just like, oh, it's like right there, and you just can't. You mash B, and you're trying to. It does nothing.
Exactly. You want to dive. You know, if you dive, you'd get it, but you can't.
You're just slowly walking towards the ball. I mean, I adjusted, and I played through a whole season, which, mind you, you have to do if you want to get through a whole season. You have to do it all in one sitting.
That is correct.
There's no saves. There's no passwords, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like by like the fifth game, I was like, oh my god, this is like a fucking trudge.
RBI
Like,
Baseball 1 had no save or password system of any way to continue. 2 and 3 both did. And I believe they were just passwords, right? They were.
when you're playing it, like, yeah, that's by like the fifth or sixth game. You keep hearing that same music that loops, the dun 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 dun
Dun, 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 dun.
That just
But-
goes on and on and on and on and on, and it never lets up.
Did
And
you-
they corrected that in 2 and 3, as you were explaining earlier.
What about that music in 3? Can we talk about that?
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
But
yeah.
the game, that's my next point. But those two games are not as awesome as 1. Like the charm somehow is not as prevalent in 2 and 3 as it is in 1.
No, I agree. Because 2 and 3 to me are more like Baseball Stars or Little League Baseball. They feel more polished.
They changed the sprites to be like skinnier dudes.
They look
instead of,
like baseball
cartoon
players.
Chubby guys.
They-
They look like
they-
baseball players.
They look more like Cal Ripken and less like Greg Luzinski or Steve Balboni.
Steve Ballmer.
Right.
Anyway, so what would you rate this game?
Well, revisiting it, I still had a blast because I'm like a sucker for any baseball
Game
game
ever?
in NES. I always eat them up. Yeah, any game ever, really. A 4? I was kind of bummed out that I'm going first here, so I can't just really like bounce off someone else's score and have it affect me in a positive way. But
I
I
feel
give it a 4 just because it's pretty timeless, but like it has its issues. But contextually speaking, a fantastic baseball game for what it is. Like I would play it over 15 other baseball games on the NES probably. So I don't know. Yeah, 4. I mean, the redundant music gets irritating when you're having to slog through a whole season all in one sitting.
there are still
And the most important negative drawback is there's no Chicago team to choose, which always bothered me. But now I know why, because you explained it. They're
Yep.
like playoff teams.
Isn't it
And
funny
Chicago
how
sucks.
But I was,
easy?
I was like irritated. I was like, why can't you choose a Chicago team? It's like a major city. That was always
That-
the thing. It was
Robbie,
like,
goddammit, they had the Bulls.
Listen. You got no. Stop. You got the Bears in Tecmo Bowl, and we got the
Yeah.
Tigers. Not even the Tigers in RBI baseball, because that was one of the things that always irritated me. I'm like, I want to be fucking Barry Sanders. I want to be Barry
That's what I
Sanders.
chose.
Couldn't be Barry
I chose
Sanders.
Detroit was my go-to all the time. That's
Yep.
what I chose again.
Yep.
So
So
I did that.
perfect.
I'm not even. I'm never. Full disclosure, I'm not like a baseball fan. Like in general, I love baseball video games, but I don't like know much about baseball. I never like played. I played it as a kid, but I don't care about it. I don't follow it as an adult. It's just like I just like the games. I like the way. I like the rudimentary design. How they're all kind of just have the same game mechanics overall. That were founded by like, man, who even made the first like baseball video game? Like they all seem to follow that same formula. Where just like for fielding, you just hold up. To throw to second base, you throw right, throw to first base, all that stuff.
It was the copycat era of development. It was funny because I was playing this game and I was doing things. I was like, "This is what you do in Baseball Stars." I think this is what you do in RBI. I can't remember, and it was like, "Yep, it was the same stuff." Let me press up and B, and that might jump. Yep, oh, it did. I jumped up to get the ball.
One thing I noticed at some point when I was playing it was there like a force out didn't work. It like maybe like there's some programming errors at times.
We
that,
talked about.
I swear to God, like I threw to second, like to do a force out because there's somebody already hitting first, and it didn't fucking trigger the out because I tried to make a double play and I threw it away and I was like, what the fuck?
They call
Didn't trigger the fuck out.
They call that the Jay Hale because Jay kept cutting off his own throws.
Oh my god!
He was trying to throw to second to throw me out on trying to steal and got cut off by the pitcher. Or that time, remember, he threw it to third base and the pitcher was standing like right in front of the base and cut the ball off. I would have been out by a mile, but the guy caught it and then you're like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, you cut it off. You're in the way of the ball. One of the things we loved the most about this game was how if you have a runner on second base and the pitcher tries to you know what we talk about?
Stole my thunder. Go ahead.
Nope. I'll edit.
No,
I'll
you
edit that
said
out.
you
Nope.
said I
I'm
would
leaving
do
it
it.
out. I'm
Just
leaving
do
it
it.
out.
Do it.
Nope.
Talk about it.
That's
Talk
fine.
about it.
I'm done. I can't. I won't talk about it. Nope. That's your stuff. Anyway, 4.0 got it. That's a good score.
In conclusion,
yes. Sorry. Hold on. Let's do it over. So in conclusion,
pardon me.
I was leading you in.
Oh, in conclusion,
this is going to be impossible to edit with the music being played in the background. I just realized I can't edit it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So in conclusion, what I wrote down on my little notepad here on my phone is R.B.I. Baseball is a bare bones baseball game that has enough charm to maintain its status as a classic. Sorry, I paused there. My phone went blank.
That's pretty good.
Let me say that again. So in conclusion, R.B.I. Baseball is a bare bones baseball game that has enough charm to maintain its status as a classic to this day. I just added that in there at the end of to this day.
I heartily endorse this event or product.
More or less.
Exactly. That's what that just sounded like. Go ahead.
The one I always played on and was nostalgic for was the little black Tengen cart.
It's funny because we had the gray cart because I'm older, right? That was the one that came out first. The Tengen carts didn't come out until 88, late 80, really actually early 89 was when you started seeing them. So I was already playing R.B.I. baseball in 88 before that. And we all had the gray cart because, again,
that was definitely my first experience of a Tengen black cartridge in NES. What the hell is this? Well, it works in my Nintendo, so whatever.
Yeah, who cares? It works.
Who cares? It works.
The kid mentality. All right.
But when I played it the other week, I threw in the old gray, just,
Yep.
Covered all my bases.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Whose turn's next?
Oh, wait. I don't know if I talked about Matteo coming down. Matteo came down here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Matteo made it down to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Did you smoke him on Ultimate Mortal Kombat?
No, he came and took a video of me beating MK2 for the millionth time, though, in the flesh, a live beating of the game.
I think it would have been better if you guys would have actually played each other.
He doesn't know how to play fighting games. He's like outspoken about it. He's like, I don't know how to play that shit.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
But he came down, him and his lady came down to Logan for the first time ever. And
Caitlin?
He fell in love with this pinball machine that he now wants to buy, which is like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, he told me about it.
Yeah, he's like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And,
we ended up getting that big top one or whatever he wanted.
He got the other one, but it was cheap. That's an old electromechanical.
You know how it goes. Like it's the collector sickness. Now he saw a new one that he wants. He's like, oh, I want that one.
Yeah, I gotta have that one now. That's the one I really want.
Yeah. Look out.
All right, man.
Big top was totally last week.
Yeah, that's old news.
Theater of Magic is totally this week.
More like Big Plop.
Yeah. Wow. What is this? The fucking
nope.
Matty Ice podcast now or something?
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Shots fired.
Bird.
Damn.
The reason I fired those shots is because I tuned into one and only podcast of theirs, the one that Cleve was on, Jason Clevenger.
Yeah, yes.
And when I tuned in, all they were doing was talking about like sucking nuts and fucking tasting nuts and stuff. Because there's a fucking podcast about like food, or like they had someone is eating mixed nuts and they thought it was hilarious to make nut tasting puns for like an hour, and I was like, this sucks. Turned it off.
We'll talk offline about all that. All right.
And I'm a little salty with Maddie at the moment. He's on my shit list because he ghosted me after bothering me about trying to buy some like Spider-Man N64 box and manual, and I like went and dug into my bin, took photos for him and all this stuff, and then he just like left me hanging, totally ghosted me. And I was like, all right, you're not buying this anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not selling to you anymore.
He had a lot of life transition stuff going on for a period there. It might have been in that where he was getting a new job and moving out of his now ex-fiance's house and then moving. Like he had a lot of that all happening at once. So it may have occurred around that time. So yeah. John says, ha, salty nuts. What's that?
Wait, ex-fiance? Isn't like 24?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. And actually, his girlfriend Sarah was in our chat earlier, and she's awesome. I love her. She finally made it over to the house for the party. It was nice to see her. So, all right, man. Let's talk soon. I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to start any podcast beef here, but I love Maddie and what my experiences with him. I just felt like busting his balls. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, they know we love him.
He deserves it.
Mark and Matt are great guys.
We love him.
I don't know the other guy at all, but Maddie, I just like to bust his balls.
Mark's a good dude too.
You'd
like him. He's a good dude.
He is. Cool.
All right. I'll see you later. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time. Later, guys.
Bye,
Robbie.
See ya.
I couldn't find the button in time to lead him out. But that was 8-Bit Supremacy, Robbie Cohen.
You are.
I'm bad.
Yeah, you're bad. That was horrible. Okay.
It's these it's these new dentures.
These new dentures.
Are we going? You going next?
I guess I'm on the list. You said we're going down the list.
I didn't say that. You asked, and I said I don't care. Or I might have said yes. I'll go back and edit it later. I'll tell you what I said. I don't remember. Sure, why not? Yes.
Okay.
You talk. I'm gonna. You want something to drink?
No, I'm good. I'm still
Nursing
a
it.
little of this guy left, so I'm good.
Go ahead.
Do your thing. So, no, I for mine, a lot of it kind of mirrors what Robbie was saying. Yep, little fart. That they're fun. Like they're a great game. So, just basing it off the original R.B.I. baseball, for what the game was at the time, it was a great game. Of course, 2 and 3 definitely made improvements. Not a huge difference between 2 and 3 other than some of the music, but they were still a big change. You had it seemed a lot more, I don't know, like the sprites in R.B.I. baseball were kind of dumpy and bubbly, where the sprites in 2 and 3 were more human looking or more baseball player looking. So, yeah, you were getting something to drink, weren't you? I don't know what he's doing. Okay. But as far as the game goes for me, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I was terrible at it, clearly, since Mike smoked me at it, and he's not much better at games than I am.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, okay? To be fair, I didn't go to school as much as you. I spent a lot of time at home playing video games.
Oh, well.
This was one of them. Or at least a derivative therein of this.
Yes.
A Nintendo baseball game, like to Robbie's point, all kind of controlled the same. So the amount of time I spent playing Baseball Stars translated very well here. It was like when we played basketball. I'm not nearly as thin or agile as I used to be, but I can still move and get to the ball, and I can shoot and I can lay it up because I knew how to do that stuff 30 years ago. I might blow my knee out doing it today, but I still kind of know how to do it. And it's no different with this game.
Actually, I feel like that translates good for me too, because at one point when we were playing basketball, Tom and I were both directly under the hoop. I shot it, didn't even touch the hoop. Then Tom shot it, and he hit the hoop, but we were literally, we probably could have just jumped up and put it.
You were in layup range, like you were standing right next to the basket, with nobody around you, and you missed the entire basket.
And then Tom came and grabbed it and did the layup and did the same.
He biffed it.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, Robbie says there was a replay feature in 2 and 3, which we got to see your home run. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Or also when you cut it off that one time.
That one was hilarious.
That was the best one. So anyway, all right. So Jay, where would you put this game? Like, you talk a little bit about how it plays, what it looks like. What would you rate this game?
Based off just R.B.I. baseball, the original.
Yeah.
I'd go 4. If I was going with 2 or 3, I'd probably do a 4.5. But we're going off the original, so I'm doing a 4.
I could see that.
4.5, and a couple of the reasons, and I yelled at you for trying to steal my thunder with it, but a couple of the reasons.
Don't say that because I'm going to edit it out.
Oh, it's fine. A couple of the reasons I would go a little slightly higher is the humor aspect for me.
Man.
On 2 and 3 is you got a guy on base. He was on second base, and we're sitting there, and I just looked up, and I'm like, why does your dude look like he's like MC Hammer? Yeah, like he was like doing the MC Hammer dance, like the dun 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 dun. Well, can't touch this or whatever.
We should explain, right? Like, when you're sitting there and the pitcher has not pitched the ball, the batter will stand there in 2 and 3, and he'll kind of wiggle the bat a little bit. But what also happens is the runner is, if he's on first or second or third, or whatever it is, you can see him in that window, right? And he'll move like left and right. But the way he's posing and the way that he moves all together. Like his whole body moves the whole way, one way or the other. So when he does it, it looks like he's doing the MC Hammer dance.
But I'm the point of it is when you watch a baseball game, when the guy's leading off, he's normally leaning.
He's going
has
with
his
the
hands
other,
on his knees, and he's kind of like sliding over.
It's ergonomically the right pose.
Yes, it just looks like he's doing the hammer dance.
But when you do
moving.
it, you don't move like a crab, right? Like it's like everything's moving all at once.
That, and then hands down the best is you can attempt to pick players off.
Yes,
that are on base, because the guys will lead off, and you can steal bases. So you can hit B in the up for second base right for
pitcher
first,
can
left for third.
Keep him on base.
So you can
Keep him
throw
honest.
the ball. And the best is hands down. I think I did it about 75 times. You had a guy on second base, and if he would lead, you'd wait. He'd stand there and lead off, and when he did, and you'd throw the ball to second, the base runner would like Superman back to the base, and it's hilarious. Like if you haven't. If it
he
doesn't
dives in this manner where it looks like he's diving back, like head first slide into the base, right?
But he doesn't
he's
slide
not.
or move. He
His
just
arms are
flies
up.
right. Yeah,
and he like it just looks like he's flying back, like he's like
yeah. It looks like he's Supermaning back to the base.
And also the other variant of that was when they would slide feet first, and it looked like they were karate kicking into the base. With like,
yeah,
Wah!
yes.
Yes,
It looked
I
like
enjoyed
the
that.
cover of
Agreed.
Kickmaster.
Yes, it very much did. Like a very small 8-bit pixelized version of it.
Yes.
So,
But I digress. My overall score is a 4.
very, very good.
So, sir, it's your turn.
You want me to go?
Well, you're next on the list.
Let me burp first.
That was awful courteous of you to mute that.
I'm trying to be better about this kind of stuff.
Kickmaster.
Kickmaster rules.
What did he say? Real deep cut. Hell yes.
Yeah, everything we do is a deep cut because you have to really dig for it to find what we had to say. nobody's listening. There's no mainstream version of it. No. Anyway, okay, so I'll go. Yeah, absolutely. I'm giving this game a 4. It's funny. It's funny.
Right,
Robbie
you
was
jump right
worried.
in.
Robbie was worried that he was over or undergrading it. I think 4 is right in the wheelhouse for me because it pushes all the buttons from a nostalgia perspective for me. Because I did play this game, and it led me to like Robbie's story about playing R.B.I. baseball and then moving on to Bad News or Bad Dudes baseball, whichever, I forget which one. Like I have the similar story with Baseball Stars because R.B.I. baseball was like the first baseball game I got my hands on where I was like, oh my God, these are the real players. Okay, like this guy actually hits better because of this, or because he has better stats or whatever it may be. So I did love R.B.I. baseball, and we did start with the Great Cart, and we'll get into the collecting part of it after this, but ultimately, the game has, Robbie kind of said what I wanted to say as it relates to the charm of the game, right? Like we talked about the sprites in 2 and 3 and how they look more human-like, right? Like more like Baseball Stars. As the game evolved, as people understood how to program for the NES better, things looked different and better, right? Same hardware, different programming and all that stuff. But man, they just those fat dudes out there running around playing baseball and R.B.I. baseball, they all look exactly the same. I just love it, right? And the negatives to me were kind of the same as his. The fielding, you can't dive. Everything's slow. Guys all kind of move together. The music is super repetitive. It's like the same song forever. It's but it's fine. Well, hold on, don't. So the positive again, the fat guys. Right, they're all kind of chubby looking, and they have no definition at all what they are. And then the attributes. I thought those were positives, but I think the game is still fun to play. One story I do want to tell about it from a personal experience perspective was when we first got this game, and it was '88. I mean, I know it was '88. We remember watching the World Series that year. We played this game a great deal before and after, but we had a house rule for this game, and the house rule was you could only pitch down the middle. You could not curve the ball. You could not speed the ball up or slow the ball down. You must press the button.
Just hit A. You
just hit A, and the ball would come out like regular, normal, not fast ball, not change up speed, and you could not curve it left or right because we were like, this is too fucking hard. You know what I mean? It was just too hard. Like when somebody's controlling the pitches, not the pitcher, like the computer, but your friend, you're like, I can't hit any of this shit. So we did that, and we would have some very high scoring games because of it, but it was a lot of fun. I just always will remember that to this day that we would do that. So yeah, I'm giving this game a 4. I think it is still a fun game. I still pick it up and play it from time to time. I've never gone through an entire season. I need to. I was too busy playing 1 and 2 and 3, whatever, trying to do research for the show, but I will because this is a game that I get on a regular basis and play. Not as much as Baseball Stars. Baseball Stars is one we'll do someday because that is my favorite. Like that is my favorite baseball game. Howard Phillips and another guy wrote a book about his experiences at Nintendo. Okay, this is an offshoot of the story, but in it, if you did a certain level of the Kickstarter, right? If you donated a specific amount to get the book, you got all these other things. One of the things would you get your name and the name of whatever game you wanted from the NES in the book along with your name.
That's cool.
I picked Baseball Stars. So because it's my favorite, right? It's that and Zelda are like 1A, 1B of my favoriteest of all favorites. So, but yeah, so like it's harder for me to give anything higher than like a 4, just because there are detriments to this game that I don't like. There are mechanics in better games that came out later that make it not as 4.5.
Yeah.
So I think 4 is where I land on this one.
I think it's a pretty fair.
Yeah,
fair
obviously you do.
Yeah, I did a 4 as well.
What about Dusty Diamond? The wrestler?
Dusty Diamond, the wrestler?
No, I'm kidding. There's Dusty Rhodes and Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes.
That was a joke.
Okay.
It was a horrible wrestling joke.
If Jerry heard that, he'd be pissed at you.
No, he would actually laugh because he would have gotten exactly what I meant.
D, bad news and baseball stars are all.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's absolutely true. This softball, Dusty Diamond, that's the softball a game.
Sure.
I think, right?
That's what
Yeah.
Milwaukee Retro
Yeah,
Gamer
that's what you
said.
just said. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah, Dusty Diamond is softball.
Is Milwaukee Gamer, is Retro Gamer, is he a
Kalen?
baseball guy? Yeah. Is he
yeah.
a RBI baseball guy?
No, I think Milwaukee Retro Gamer would probably be an RBI baseball guy. We don't have to ask him what he thinks.
I'm asking him. Have you played RBI?
100%. I guarantee he has. Going on a tour to go see every freaking MLB stadium.
Is he really?
I think.
Oh,
I know he's supposed to go to Toronto.
Friends.
He's supposed to go to Toronto this year, right around the same time as this show in
I could be
Cleveland.
friends with him. That'd be one of my dreams. Just to go to every ballpark
Yeah.
in the US. It'd be so fun.
I missed out on RBI. So if we asked you to rate this game from 0.5 to 5.0, would you be able to do it? Because we might need you to. Because our dickhead friend is stonewalling us now that we've left him out of the last infographic.
Oh, Shazam, have him.
I know.
He's an asshole.
I wouldn't even call him my friend anymore.
He's your friend. He's not mine.
He's not my friend. I just said that. What do you want from me? He says no.
No.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Is Clearview still on? I bet he's got some input on it.
No, he's not, but I bet Valdor is. No, I'm kidding. I don't know who's on, but anyway.
Well, Valdor got it last time. We got
Let's
mixed up.
do this.
John's turn.
Let's call John. You ready?
I'm ready. Can you see it okay this time?
I don't need to see anything. It's all you.
You yell at me when I hit the buttons.
I know. I like to send conflicting messages.
I know.
I want people on their toes at all time. He's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Let's see if it's in stereo.
So it says to Mabel, I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the one and only Kansas City Barbecue himself, Mr. Fammy Box, John Young, retro game enthusiast. I'm telling you, my intros for John are fire.
Yeah,
care
no,
what you
I
say.
love them. They're my ringtones now.
See what you're supposed to do,
Work
John?
people think it's weird.
What you're supposed
What's
to
that?
do is you answer the phone like that, then we play the theme song, then you say it again. Because that's what it is, right? That's the joke. So I says to Mabel, I says, and then Homer comes in and says whatever he says, and then he leaves and he goes, so I says to Mabel, I says.
First of all, am I just in your left ear? Because I didn't
nope.
listen to that part.
Full,
Okay, good.
full
because
bore stereo, you sound great.
Awesome. Because I'm partially deaf in my left ear, and so if I listen to any podcast, no matter how much I like it, and it's only in the left ear, I'm done. So
Even if it was listening to you?
yeah, no, I love
Wow.
the sound of my own voice. So
Okay.
it's really hard. That's kind of Anyway,
You need that mono mix.
now, so I got so much to say about this, and I don't really know where to start in general. I know that I exude kind of an alpha male sports guy like energy, right?
Yes, I would say that you're very much the, like you're always out there playing pickup basketball, challenging strangers, flexing with no shirt on. Like I see you really just kind of trying to dominate everywhere you go.
Have you seen him throw a 5-3 changeup?
No.
Oh, dude, it's sick.
Bruh. Go on.
I know you're joking, but here's the thing. I actually enjoy playing sports, but watching it just kills me. So anyway, but I'm kind of in Robbie's boat in that I like sports games. So very much in the 90s, Madden was like that Genesis game, right? Like that was like the appeal of Genesis is it had so many sports games. And honestly drove a lot of people towards it, at least like in my friend group.
It's the
So
games I had for my Genesis mostly. That's why I played. They were much better on the Genesis. NBA Live, NBA, and those kinds of games. And NHL 94 is a prime candidate.
Oh yeah,
That's one of the all timers on Genesis. It's not as good on Super Nintendo. It just wasn't. That console, whoever's doing those games for Genesis ports knew what the fuck they were doing.
That's funny. But just before you said that, Robbie said NHL 94.
Sure did. Yes, he did. That is the GOAT. That's it. That's the apex.
Oh.
That and Baseball Stars.
It's coming up all over now.
Yeah. Kalen agrees.
Weird note. Have you guys seen the TV show The League?
No. I've heard of it, but the Fantasy League guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those shows where like so many of my friends that are like me that don't really get into sports love watching it, and it gave me real nostalgia towards old sports games in that kind of vein of like there's something like about sports games in that show that kind of have that nostalgia and kind of fun inclusion, but you don't actually have to have like an interest in watching the sports versus maybe playing the sports, or at least like the kind of like cultural like camaraderie of it. So
sure,
that's me talking about sports guy stuff. But so to this game, similar to Robbie, like I'm not a big like baseball fan, but I can tell you I've not played this game for like 20 years. And jumping back into it, I mean like playing it other than like testing out the Famicom carts. Like jumping back into it, it's amazing like how like this is just ingrained in me as a video game player.
Exactly.
And like, yeah, it's not, and that's to kind of Mike, what you were saying about Super Famicom and not having the relationship with it, like the nostalgia for it.
Right.
R.B.I. has that nostalgia that I can't separate myself from, but 2 and 3, and I'll get into this in a minute, is that 2 and 3 they're not Famicom games. They are American like interpretations of the game, and Famicom kept going with that same style. So even though I had played 2 and 3 when I was younger, the Famicom games tapped into more of that nostalgia that kind of what you were saying was like lost in like 2 and 3.
Yeah,
so,
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
So yeah, and this is.
Can I say something very quickly, because I just realized that both you and Robbie have said that you're not big baseball guys. I think Jay, I don't want to speak for you. I played baseball growing up. A lot of Little League and stuff, but I still follow it to this day, not as extensively as I did, but I do like baseball, and I would, I want to go to a game. I'm gonna, I go to games. I enjoy watching it on television sometimes. More enjoy listening to it on the radio more than anything anymore. But I'm also a sports fan. So but anyway, I digress. We really hadn't mentioned, because you guys both said that you were, and I thought I should at least bring up to say that I know I am, and I feel like Jay, you are as well.
You realize I have a Tiger's tattoo.
I do
on my
know,
wrist,
but I don't want to speak for you.
Okay. Yes, I'm a huge baseball fan.
I feel like it was insinuated over this the series of episodes you guys have been on, but no, 100%.
Perhaps.
But no. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
The nostalgia, the Famicom versions.
So I grew up. I did play a lot of sports with friends, like in the backyard type thing. So I was really into that. It's just for some reason the watching, and 80s and 90s sports, watching it was not like today, where you have all the cinematics and the beauty of it. It's like legitimately you have to be a real fan to watch sports in the 80s,
mm-hmm.
versus now where it's like, no, it's entertainment. Whereas in the 80s, it was like, no, it was a means to see the thing that you wanted.
Yeah, it's exactly like now it is like you go to a game and they're there to entertain every person that's there, not just the hardcore baseball fan that wants to see if, Larry Herndon gets a hit in the 7th straight game or yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So like I said, I don't really, there's a lot to cover here. So I'm going to jump back into the Famicom stuff. So Pro Yaku Family Stadium is what they were called. But then by like, I want to say like 89 or 90, they started just calling Famista, like Famicom Family Stadium, kind of like throwing those words together. So that's what it's kind of known as today. On Nintendo,
what was the word again?
Games.
I didn't hear it.
Famista, Famista. So that's like
Famistay or Famista.
Yeah, Famista. Yeah, it's my Japanese accent is not great.
I'm just developing mine.
Ohio. Oh, perfect! Wow, how are you?
See, he knows a good morning.
Yeah. But no. So it the first game I think came around at that same time, like 86, 87. No, it was 86 because the second game is the exact same cart, exact same box, same pictures, same text, everything. Just slapped an 87 sticker on it. And actually, and this to your point about how popular it is, I have probably about 50 duplicate copies of this game, just because in every lot of Famicom games you get, there's going to be like 4 or 5 of these. It's just a super popular game. And sometimes that sticker's removed and you don't know if you have an 86 or an 87. They don't refer to the first one as 86. It's just,
the first one.
Exactly. And then the other one's 87, which happens with some baseball games there.
Well, I may have to get a couple of these off you.
Oh, I got box copies. Speaking of, I don't know if Mike's into this, but since we're already doing giveaways, if somebody DMs me on Instagram, Retro Game Enthusiast, and wants a free copy of R.B.I. Baseball on the Famicom, I'll mail you one. Just first person to DM me. Ask for it. Don't just like, hey, my name's Todd. But anyway,
my name's Todd.
So for the longest time, I've always known that there's 9 Famicom R.B.I. baseballs, and I just got a ding, so I think you got a DM. But I didn't know which game related to which, and it's not really out there on the internet. So I'm like, all right, this is an opportunity for me to see which of the 3 American games match up to the 9, which of the 9 Famicom games. The first game is either 86 or 87, just based on the release date, whatever. But the U.S. localization does have some modifications. Obviously, the intro screen's different. So just got another DM. So apparently I might have to send a couple copies.
Just so you know, our chat is getting rated by Young Games 916. I follow him on Instagram, I believe.
What up, everybody?
So yeah, welcome everybody. Just a bunch of people jumped in. So hello, welcome. The chat is getting emojied up right now, or whatever you call it.
Looks like
some
I
good
might
stuff.
be sending,
You guys can listen to some Famicom talk.
Yeah,
you tuned in just in time to hear about a 35-year-old baseball game in Japanese.
I do hope that one of them's in Japan. Like, I could use a copy of this $2 game and have this American send it to me for the $20.
Yeah, idiot.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
But no, so 86 or 87 is just a roster update. The U.S. version was essentially a port of that, but localized for America. So I'm not sure if the rosters match up, which I was trying to figure out but couldn't. So it was one of the 2 was essentially localized in the U.S. I don't see any difference between the gray and black cart, which, by the way, as a kid, the 10 games Afterburner, Gauntlet, and R.B.I., those were the ones people had. And then it was hard to justify that these weren't quality games as unlicensed games, because Gauntlet and R.B.I. were just such good games in my friends group. So whenever everybody's like, oh, that's that unlicensed, cheap, poor kid stuff.
What are you talking about? It's Gauntlet. It's R.B.I. Baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Tell me another game like
Roadrunner maybe, or Tubin, but come on.
Right. And even Fantasy Zone, But anyway, so I didn't even know there was a great cart until late 90s.
Yeah. See, I did only because, like I said, that's the one we had. Leave Roadrunner out of this, says Robbie. He's here.
I'm with him.
He's here to champion the cause of all games.
I want to say Game Gear Roadrunner is a decent game, and it's similar to the NES port. But anyway, back to R.B.I. So
yeah, BB Retro says he loves R.B.I. or she, I don't know, says they love R.B.I. baseball. So yeah, it's just go on.
So in the later Famicom games, they all kept that chunky
the thick sprite.
Chibi. Yeah,
the chibi.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say until 92 or so, and they kind of slimmed them up a bit, but nothing like the U.S. version. So I don't have the 94 version, so the 9th of the series.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, as far as if you like that nostalgia for the first R.B.I. baseball game and you think that they kind of lost it a bit in 2 and 3, play those Famicom games. Everything up till 93, super cheap, super common.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to have to. Yeah.
So easy. I have some duplicates.
BB Retro said that they called the the dad, his dad and them said that they called them the Weebles. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, it's a good
Hey,
point.
fun fact: weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
How do you know
Michael
that?
understand the reference. You're an old man. But
How do you know that? Who is
I-
this? Get off my lawn.
I assume the music is still by the same guy in the later Famicom games because they are amazing when you listen to like those tracks. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you
legitimately-
sent some of that stuff over, and it was like I said, I sat down and played 3 today, and I was like, this is a total bop, man. I like really enjoyed it. And then I listened to some of the other stuff you had sent over. I'm like, this guy raves. This guy goes to parties. He parties.
And that's what I love about Nintendo and these old like games. In that, like sometimes just like a dude, like, all right, I got commissioned for this. I'm going to make the best like 8-bit track I possibly
It doesn't.
can.
It's like the anticipation thing where you're like,
Oh yeah.
the poor guy got, whatever it was, I forget his name, got tied to every horrible game ever, Pictionary, right, or whatever it was, where it's just like, well, nobody really cares what the music sounds like. I'm gonna fucking set this shit on fire, you know. So
Side note: I'm pretty sure that's Patrick Dumpy on the cover of the anticipation box. But
it's
that's-
who
Patrick Dumpy from Step by Step, the dad.
from Mannequin.
Yeah, mannequin.
Yeah. Wow. I went
Wasn't
with
he
a
also
very
in,
old reference?
Wasn't Patrick Dempsey also in? Oh, what's it
Was
called?
it Dempsey or Dumpy? There's two of
Dempsey.
them. There's, like,
D-E-M-P-S-Y.
Dempsey.
What's the
Side note: I think he's the original Ronald McDonald.
I don't know about that. I have no idea about that.
Google that stuff. All right, we'll see.
What's the movie where he plays the gigolo that delivers pizzas? That's
I know which one you're
Juice-
talking about. I
Juice
can't
Bigelow?
think of it.
no, not that. It's much older than that. Kirstie Alley's in it. I have it on VHS. I can't think of the name of it.
Look who's talking.
Yeah, no, it's Look Who's Talking Too.
Oh, with the
Can't
pet.
buy me love.
No,
No, it's not Can't Buy Me Love.
It's not.
No,
He's in that too.
nope.
All right.
It's look up
I'm looking right now.
pizza extra anchovies. Patrick
The
Dempsey.
Boys of the Summer. No.
Also not it. Now we're all looking it up. What?
It's all like silence. John, keep talking about Famicom.
Loverboy.
So,
Loverboy was it?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, Dallas. It was not Dallas. Go on.
Good call.
Yeah.
But no, like, so I had so much fun playing through these. So I tried to play all the games. I couldn't see any difference between the gray cart and the black cart because I was really hoping that'd be like famous 86 and 87.
I saw
so
no
those
difference.
years.
It had to be the same ROM, just burned to different things, and yeah,
Yeah.
it has to
And the
be.
internet didn't seem to suggest anyway. But and then 93 and 90. The 2 and 3 there were differences, similarities between. But I did want to point out that the box art, the pictures on the back of 2 and 3, exactly the same pictures. And I love that they're unlicensed games, but licensed by the players. So they got a license for the players, but not for the NES cards.
Yeah.
But no, if you want a free copy of this Famicom game, go to anybody who like sells Famicom games, and they got a stack of like 50 of them.
Just ask them if they can have one, and they'll go, "You can have 10."
If you walk up to a guy selling Famicom games and you say, "Hey, you got the Pro Yahoo Family Stadium carts, and can I just have one?" And they'll be like, "Sure, I don't want to carry it back home."
That's what's going to happen with. I didn't tell this story. I'm going to tell you it real quick while we're on the phone here. I was at the shop, my buddy's shop in Bowling Green, John there, and John imports games. He actually goes to Japan and he'll buy stuff there and ship it back and all that stuff. And because I was kind of telling him what I was doing to do, and we're going to do that show in a few weeks in Cleveland. So I'm over there looking at like his games, right? Like he's got loose games on the shelf, and I look through. And I see Super Puyo Puyo for Super Famicom. And I just was like, oh no, I know what that is. Like, I immediately recognized it and knew what it was, despite the fact that all it is a girl on a swing with a blue background. I mean, I think there's some kanji on there, but it's just like, oh no. And the reason I thought of that is because that's probably going to be the game I want. Like, it's basically Dr. Mario, right? It's Puyo Puyo. It's that type of a puzzle game, but I already have like 7 copies of it complete in box. already. And I'm just like, it's not it's $15, $20 game, but it's just like people want it, but it's like, man, I do not need any more of these ever.
Those Puyo Puyo fans are sometimes ravenous. So like even just like basic games, you'll be able to sell them.
Well, yeah, but it was just funny. I recognized it and I knew what it was, and I was like, "Oh dear God, it's the assimilation has begun." So,
and not to make this into the Famicom like podcast, but like legitimately, I've always just kind of given these games away, and they are legitimately good games that you should know. The reason why there's so many of them is because it is good.
Yeah, I can. It's like the Kung Fu thing, right? Kung Fu's $5, but it's a good game.
Exactly. Now, I assume that the reason why you're saying so is because you're trying to rush me off the podcast. So
I'm not trying to. No, I'm not trying to rush you off.
I want to score though.
You know what? I am actually trying to rush you off. I take that back. I'm always trying to. So.
No, I get it.
If you can just give us a score and hang up, that'd be great. I'm just kidding. Rush him off, says Tape Flipper. Tape Flipper says you got to go.
I totally get it 100%. Now, if this was 1, 2, and 3 for the NES, I would have to give a 3.5. But if that we're just doing R.B.I. 1, gray or black cart, or Famicom 86, 87, legitimately, as a guy so the original baseball is always the game I think of for the NES. That's kind of like golf for the NES, that it sets the tone for all future games for golf. Yeah. Baseball for the NES sets the tone for all baseball games. So I would say that that although NES baseball sets the tone, this is the one I remember. So when I think of baseball for the NES, I think of R.B.I. Yeah. And I agree there's better games later. So if it's all the R.B.I. games, 1, 2, and 3, I would say a 3.5. Just this R.B.I., I would say, and you said you wanted to score and then get me off, so I would say this is a 4.0.
4.0.
Did he seriously just hang up?
Wait, how do we do the outro now? I don't understand. Oh, you know what? It works out because I did it with Robbie too. So yes, he just hung up.
Oh my God, John. Bye, John.
Oh, it's one of the funniest things that we've ever had on this show.
Literally said the score. Click.
4.0 click. Doot, doot, doot. You're not going to do the outro for him? Am I going to have to do it? You're going to make me do it good?
Oh, shit!
That's all I got for him leaving. That's it. That's all I got.
That's so good. Retro game enthusiast John Young, everybody. Well, chat was blowing up there, man. We got Tape Flippers here. John's cracking himself up in the chat here. We got some people here. BB Retro is here, and the crew from Young Games 916, which is cool. So thank you for joining us. It was awesome.
We need to get a score from somebody though. I just hit up Tape Flipper. I was like, dude, you ever played it? Give me a score.
That's fine as long as it's 4.0.
Is that what I don't know what I was so.
You didn't hear? You were so shocked.
In the great words of what's his name? They
were so great. I can't remember who said it.
No, the guy that does football, Joe Shiesty.
Joe Burr.
Yeah,
Joe Burr.
Yeah, what's his name?
Joe Burrow.
No, the guy that does it.
Trap House Sports.
Trap House. In the great words of Trap House Sports, I was befuddled.
That bit was elite.
Yes. We need to get that dude on our show. He's awesome.
We should. Man, I wonder if he likes video games. Old video games. They're going to be twice as old as him, I'll bet. We'll have to hit him up. Maybe I'll hit him up and ask him.
You should.
I will.
I'd love to have him on.
Ever play R.B.I.? I don't touch this stuff, says Tape Flipper. You know what that means? Because he's not here, we're going to put a score for him, 4.0. Well, you know how much he hates symmetry.
Oh, yeah, he does.
We're going to make it, it's going to be 4s across the board.
Done.
Sorry, folks. It's our first unanimous score. No, wasn't Punch-Out unanimous? It was all 5.0s. almost positive it was.
I think it was.
I can't imagine that somebody didn't score Punch Out a 5.0.
Are you looking?
I'm looking right now because it'll be our second unanimous score.
Felder gave it a 3.5. Fucker.
Yeah, he just wants to be consistent himself.
I know.
He's never played it, but it's a 3.5. Oh,
Rigged,
man.
just like baseball. Hey, they don't use steroids. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Actually, ironically, and I'm going to read it. I asked Tape Flipper. Yeah, 5s. I said, I said, put you on the spot. Have you ever played RBI
It
baseball?
ain't Doom or Wolfenstein.
He
What
said,
is though?
I have not once ever inserted RBI baseball into a console.
Oh, you're the one missing out there, buddy. I don't tell you. I mean, look at these graphics.
He said, I said, damn, I was going to ask for a score. He said 0.
4.0. Ah, look at this.
To be fair, I did own this one growing up.
Yeah. Well, someday you'll grow up. I won't. I'm not gonna though. But someday you might.
He's like, I will when I get my Tetris
All right.
game.
So we got all that. I can't rip that page because I need that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Gotta have it. Although I know the scores, so I can't forget these. They're all 4s.
yeah 4.
All right, ready?
4s across the
Hold on.
board.
That's pretty good. It got there. Hey Jay, why don't you tell me where you can play this game today?
You ready?
Yep.
All right. If everybody's ready, I'll give everybody a minute so they can get a pen. Okay, I think everybody's ready.
Yep.
So the only place you can play it, or places, there's a lot, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
This week in baseball.
That's about it.
Anyway, moving on to collecting.
Yeah. You wanna talk about some collecting?
I
for
do.
us?
All right.
I like it.
So
Let's make it happen.
I'm going to go over RBI Baseball 1, 2, and 3 from a collecting perspective. I'll start with 1. 1 was released both as a licensed and unlicensed cartridge for the NES. Okay. And we kind of talked about that already. It came out as a licensed cartridge. Then Tengen went and stole the code, made their own chip, and bootlegged their own games. And then they put out 1, 2, and 3 on black cards.
What
Right?
was
Those are the unlicensed.
I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt for just a second.
That's okay.
Just because I want everybody to, because we just talked about the unlicensed and licensed, and you made the comment about stealing it.
Yeah.
What was that we watched earlier?
It was the Atari versus Tengen,
What
or the
was
Atari versus Nintendo trial.
Who was
the
it?
gaming historian?
Yes.
Norman Crusoe.
If you guys get a chance, watch that. It's what was it, 10, 15 minutes? It was pretty quick.
25.
Oh, 25. It felt quicker than that. So there we go. But it's really good, and it talks about the whole, it talks about everything with the whole Nintendo versus Atari or Tengen, and how Tengen, those dudes were shady. They took some stuff. So I was pretty, oh, hey, gaming historian.
I think most people who listen to this would know who Norm Crusoe is, because Norm
probably.
does the show circuits. He was at Midwest Gaming Classic. This is one of his books I bought. It's just a notebook. There's nothing in it. It's just got his logo embossed on it. He seems like a good dude. He likes Michigan. He told me that. But his videos are super informative. He has great research. They're well presented. But yeah, basically we watched about a 25-minute video of the story of when Atari / Tengen sued Nintendo over their, business practices. And then in turn, Nintendo sued Atari because they said, you stole our stuff.
It's just good to watch. Yeah,
Illegally.
It's good to watch. It's just good to watch it. And what John say there?
Norm lives in KC and he ghosted me when I said, what's up? He's a YouTube star. No time for podcast peasants. Well, we talked at Midwest Gaming Classic. I didn't tell him about the podcast, though. If I would have, maybe he would have stonewalled me. If I'd have brought it up. He seems like a nice guy.
Mike did the whole business
Genuinely.
card thing, though. Don't act like you didn't. You cupped one of our stickers when you shook his hand. It's nice seeing you.
The
Or
sticker
tip.
part was on the outside and it was peeled and it stuck it to his hand and then ran up. That's yours now. You have to listen. It's like the Blob. Now it's got you. Anyway, okay, so let's do collecting.
Yes, back to collecting. Sorry.
Yeah. So the unlicensed version of this game, and this kind of is not surprising. The unlicensed version of this game is one of your $5 loose, $25 complete games. It is a super common game. It is probably one of the most common games. And the only reason it's $5 is because people actually enjoy playing it. Because if it was, let's say, Silent Service, Okay. As I always rail on Silent Service. This would be a $2 game at most, I
Unless
think.
it's autographed by Cartmageddon.
Well, then it wouldn't be for sale.
Be a one of one.
Yeah, it would be a one of one. You know,
I would say, so it says $5 loose, but I would say I would probably let yours go for about $3.75.
That's like a 25% discount. You still got to ship it, though. It costs money.
They don't have to pay for shipping. I'll charge you for shipping.
Oh. Okay, so maybe the loose, it's about $3.75 then, I guess. Anyway.
Minus Mike's cost for shipping.
That's right. Minus Mike.
Straight to you.
Not including Mike. Yeah, shipping included.
Right, go ahead, sorry.
And then the licensed version, which is the one I've got up in the cart run here. This again, the same. That's the gray cart. It's a little more. It's $12 for the loose game, $45 for the complete. I'm sure it's harder to find. I bet it's much harder to find, honestly, because they put it out until they didn't have to anymore. Then they put the other one out, and then they didn't put any of them out for them anymore. So R.B.I. Baseball 2 is $8, and it is $30 complete. And R.B.I. Baseball 3 is about $10 loose and $35 complete. And R.B.I. Baseball 3 has the distinction of being one of the 2 unlicensed Tengen games I do not have.
Yeah.
Because I did not find it in Midwest Gaming Classic, and I have not found it in the wild yet. So it is, along with Afterburner, the 2 I don't have, because I thought I bought Afterburner and I didn't. So, Kaylin, if you got a Afterburner and an R.B.I. Baseball 3 laying around, I'll take them. Did anyone press? Okay.
Oh, shit. No, we didn't. I'm just joking.
Anyway, there are not a lot of sealed copies of these out there. One sold for quote unquote $5,000 on eBay as they buy it now best offer. I'm going to guess it went for less than that. Okay, so
how long ago was that?
Not that long ago.
Was it
the most recent
R.B.I.
sale.
Baseball?
It was the first one. It was the Tengen Black Cart unlicensed first one. I sold Joel ahead. That's right, he did. I forgot about that, but that's okay because Robbie's got Afterburner apparently. So instead of talking about graded versions that have sold, because I found none. The only one I found was I think R.B.I. Baseball 95, or there was 95 for the 32X sold at one point, and it sold under cost. I remember when it sold on Heritage, but these games I did not find much on from a sold perspective on Heritage auctions. Now, so what I did is I just grabbed the population report, and it kind of is in line with what I thought as well. The unlicensed version of R.B.I. Baseball, 35 of them have been graded. But the licensed version, 4 have ever been graded. And then R.B.I. Baseball 2, only 1 sealed copy has ever been graded. And R.B.I. Baseball 3, only 2 sealed copies have ever been graded.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, they're not super common, other than apparently the unlicensed first one. That's it. That's all. That's it on collecting. These are all very accessible games that are very prevalent. Other than I can't find a copy of R.B.I. Baseball 3, but whatever. But yeah, I would say buy one, and if you buy the unlicensed one, whatever. If you buy the licensed one, whatever. But it's definitely worth playing, and especially at that price, it's hard to beat. So, Jay, why don't you talk to me a little bit about speed running?
Just a little bit.
R.B.I. Baseball. And we're going to keep this specific to R.B.I. Baseball 1.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about speed running a NES baseball game.
All right.
And
which is scintillating at minimum here.
And I don't want to do all the talking, but I will probably give you context on a couple of these.
I was actually going to ask you on that.
So. The first 2 I think you got. The next 2 I'll explain.
Okay. So on speed running, so we got 21 runners total. 81 runs.
Right.
So
there's 81 runs posted to speedrun.com by 21 different runners.
So run type, I'm going to go through a couple of these here. You're going to give me
pass it off.
Yeah, you're going to give me some more dialogue with these. But
yep.
Winning a game for the Nintendo. The sports runner did it in 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
And he was able to do that by mercying them.
Yes.
Right?
He did the 10 runs.
10-0.
Yes.
That was the fastest anybody's ever won a game. And it goes from the point that the game starts until it says game over or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you watch that speed run?
I did not watch that one, but I watched the second one.
Okay. I was just curious because I wanted to know how many innings he actually went.
1.
It was just 1 inning.
Yes.
Okay. And then the next one, which is kind of funny, is lose a game. So you lost the game. NES, and it was
him.
It was actually tied with the sports runner and She's Chardcore.
It looks like she's C hardcore, but I believe that's she's Shardcore.
Okay. That was 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Now, I watched this run, and it was actually pretty funny. I watched the Sports Runners version of this run. Basically, what they do is, okay, he goes up and gets out as fast as he can, right? He goes up and bunts 3 times. First pitch, and it's picked up by it's either caught or picked up by the pitcher and thrown to first. Okay, so he's out in like usually 3 pitches. Then when he's pitching, he beans everybody on tries to bean them all on the first pitch. He'll bean the person, get on the base, and he'll score 6 runs like that. And then he lets the 10th person, because you've now got 6 runs in and 3 people on, the 10th person to bat, he lets them hit the ball, and then he doesn't field it. And if it's a home run, it's faster. But if it's not, they all run around. They score 10 runs and the game ends.
Oh, there you go.
So the fastest to lose it was 1 minute and 10 seconds by both of them, both the Sports Runner and she's Shardcore.
All right.
Okay.
And then all teams, any percentage. That again was a Sports Runner, and that one's 18 minutes and 18 seconds.
And that is specifically losing 9. You have to lose to all 9 teams.
Yeah.
It says all teams, any percentage. That means you can win or lose any version of, like, you don't have to have won, and that speaks to the next one, 9-0.
Yeah.
You have to have won all 9 for the next one. That's why it's much longer. But this one is you had to play all 9 teams as fast as you could.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Okay.
And they all lost in 1 minute and 10 seconds, or what the fuck it was.
And then the last one is all teams. You have to go 9-0, so you have to go undefeated. You have to win every game.
Right, but we want to talk about this one first and who did it and how long.
I said that.
You said the Sports Runner in 18 minutes and 18 seconds?
Yeah.
And I don't listen at all.
No, you clearly
Man, I
don't.
suck.
Yeah, you do. So
I was trying to help. I'm sorry.
take it off send and put it on receive, my friend. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you.
You suck!
You didn't mute me.
I know I didn't mute you.
You fake muted me. You pump muted me.
I did.
Anyway.
So got that one. So then we got the all teams 9-0. So that means you won every game.
Yes.
That one
you'd have to win. You have to beat every team 9 in a row.
Yes.
One time each.
Yes. That one, surprisingly, the Sports Runner is not involved in that one. That one was actually done by Bert Sasquatch.
You mean Bert Sam Squinch?
Yeah, Bert Sam Squinch.
He's about a 10-footer, if you ask me. Actually, the Sports Runner was second here.
Oh, okay.
But what was the time?
58 minutes and 46 seconds.
Could you imagine playing this game for an hour in a row? And like, let's say you've gotten to the 55-minute mark, and then like you give up a run or something.
Mother.
Like, oh God, I have to play 8 teams all over again. No. Anyway.
So I was going to say the hour thing I don't think is that bad because I think we spent an hour just trying to pick off the second baseman
50
so
minutes
we could
of that
watch
was
him
laughing.
Superman. Yeah.
That shit was so
But those
good.
were all from speedrun, so that was all those. Oh Lord, here we go again.
Do 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 do.
So our next episode.
Do 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 do.
Keep going. Keep it going.
What?
All the way down. All the way down.
It's down. It is.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. I'm taking away your abilities here in a minute.
Go on.
Go ahead. All right. Dude, that's it. That's a wrap. We got one page left.
It's the Kilkenut Bangers Ball. It's a wrap. They're all here. Biggie, Puffman, Snoopaloopaloop.
Da-da-dee-da-da-da-doo. That was it. You got anything else about the game?
Nope. I think it's time to wrap up.
Wrap it up and wrap it out.
What's the next game we're going to talk about, Jay?
Next game we're talking about is it's a classic. It's a throwback.
It's called TBD.
Yes, TBD.
We may have a guest on the next show too. I think we got to figure that out. In fact, one thing I want to put out there is that Jay will be going forward in charge of logistics as it goes to scheduling and getting people on, because I realize that I talk about it a lot and then I never do it. So, yeah.
Well, in your defense, and that's part of it is Mike does a lot for the show. And I think he's taking on too much, and I need to help out with that a little bit more than just my witty banter.
You've just said everything I've ever wanted to hear.
Oh, okay, good.
Except for the witty banter part. That part is
When
not
did I start on this show?
Episode 8.
So, and we're on 26.
So that's year and a half.
Yeah, it took me 18 episodes.
We got a whole 18 episodes in about 70 weeks.
Yeah, and now I'm going to start helping out.
Yeah, finally. Tape Flipper as a guest. We need a Doom episode. Man, they keep pushing it, but I'd rather do Quake.
Woof.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. We got to set it up. We definitely want to talk to Kaylin, and we want to talk to Tape Flipper and Mike and
yeah, we got a lot of people we want to add on. But I think might start going weekly. We add these many people, this many people on.
The point here is we've got to schedule them so they know, and we can all be prepared.
Yes,
that's all. So that's on you now.
Yes,
I'm putting it in your able hands. I believe. I trust you to manage that process.
We got it.
So where can the people who are listening to us now find us?
Did you take it down?
I don't feel like it needs to be in there anymore. I feel like you got it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's not there though. I like just reading it.
I'll put it back. It was an accident.
What does it say? Milwaukee would be a lot of fun to hear him talk about Arkanoid.
Absolutely.
Well, that's definitely on the list. We're gonna make that one happen.
My only concern about the next episode is it is supposed to fall right on mine and John's birthday. So we're trying to figure out if it's going to be that day or the day before or after. That's all. Oh. But let's try and figure that out, and we'll hash that out internally. We'll huddle up, and then we'll come out of it.
I'm making a decision right now. No. I'm making an executive decision. If I'm in charge of the schedule here, because it's your birthday, Mike. This is your show. You originally.
Robbie's as confused as everybody. What's the next game?
Okay, that's where I'm going right now.
Okay.
Here's what we're doing. And I think you did it before I was on the show, but we're doing it again.
Don't say it.
I'm saying it.
It's because you were playing that game.
No.
What about Shredder's Revenge?
No. I want to do it for your birthday. I want to do it for your birthday.
No.
Yeah, I want to do it for your birthday.
No.
Yes. We're doing it for your birthday.
No.
No, we're doing it for your birthday.
Yeah,
I'm making
bad dudes, says Robbie. We have so many things to do that we haven't done. I know what you're looking for.
I can't ever find it. Go back. It's one page back. No, that way.
It's this one.
Yeah, that's it.
Bad dudes. Fucking bad dudes.
Robbie, if you make a ROM hack for Bad Dudes Baseball, we'll do it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That would be the only thing we ever talk about every other week.
Yes.
Anyway.
So, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm doing it. I'm making that decision.
But I already did it.
Huh?
At least all the notes are written. Go ahead.
Do you want to do another one in the group?
I think we should discuss it internally. I do.
I want to call it out right now, though.
I don't want to do that one.
Hold on. We're going to discuss it internally.
No.
Yeah. I'm making my own decision. Mike's getting pissed. He's walking away. So we're doing a birthday episode for Mike. John, it's your birthday too. Mike is he's the dad of the show. Shit. Okay.
Arkanoid.
No.
And we're not inviting Kaylin.
No, we will do.
Got you.
Kaylin, I will be reaching out to you about that. Actually, Robbie, yes.
That's fine.
Zelda 2.
Let's do it.
We're going to do that for
We
Mike,
haven't done
Mike's
an NES
birthday.
game in a while, so it makes perfect sense that we would probably throw it in the hat here.
Didn't we just do an NES game?
Don't we always just do NES games?
Yes. So, NES. Kaylin said, "Dang." Okay, I'll reach out to you. We'll have you on. I'm going to get you on sooner than later.
Let's say he's going to be on July 27th. Can we agree to that?
I'm good with it.
I'm waiting for his response. Kaylin, are you good for July 27th? And we're putting it out there now. I think that's the weekend he has to go to Toronto for the baseball thing. Or that's actually Wednesday, but whatever, I don't know.
Okay, we'll plan that.
Yeah,
Kaylin, I'll get with you.
This might get edited out.
Yes, Kaylin, I'll get with you later.
Anyway, he says maybe.
Okay, I'll get with him. I'll get with him
spot
later.
We were 2 seconds ago, maybe.
I'll get with him later on.
All
Zelda
right.
2's next episode. That's going to be the birthday episode for Jonathan and Michael. So, and I think John will be okay with it.
Where else can
John,
people find us?
John can talk about the Famicom version.
Yeah, he says Mattio's favorite game ever is Zelda 2. And I believe it is actually Jason Clevenger's favorite game.
Oh.
So.
Well, neither one of them will be on the episode. So.
That's right. You know why? Because it's our show.
That's right.
And we make the rules around here.
Yeah.
As long as Amy's cool with it.
Zelda 2 should be a good one, finally. I don't. Now you're stretching it. I don't know if
easy.
I don't know if we'll actually have a good show.
I don't know if I'll any of that. Good.
All right.
It's all relative.
On that note, we do have social media. So you can actually go to our we have a link tree. That website is linktree.
Linktra.
/joystick.
Linktra.
We have a link tree. Linktree joystick.
Linktree joystick. Is that what it is? Yeah, just type that in your browser and you'll find it.
Linktree joystick.
You'll find us.
You'll find us. We'll be there.
Browse it on the web like an old person would.
Yes. On the
Linktree joystick. Dig it up.
Linktree joystick.
Yeah. I wish that this was going worse.
I did very well good.
Yeah, it might.
Here you go.
No.
We do have the link tree /joystick. If you don't want to do that, Lost Joystick Network. My God. See, that's why you have to have it written down for
I know.
I don't remember shit.
It's Lost Joystick Network.
Yes.
I think.
Is that what our show's called?
I don't know. I thought this was the Retronauts podcast.
Remember, they already said they wanted the good one.
Then they wouldn't listen to the Retronauts podcast.
Ouch.
Got them. Just kidding. It's good.
Oh, right. But no, our social media. Seriously?
Go
Do I have
ahead.
to do that? So we've got Instagram and Twitter. It's Lost Joystick. Or you can go to Facebook and Twitch, Lost Joystick Network. Email address, info@lostjoysticknetwork.com. That's it. That's all I got. I'm done. Wrapping it up.
This week in baseball.
I just had to throw that one in there
I
one more
love
time.
that.
Because we're done. Good old Mel Allen. We love him. God rest his soul. So with that is the news, folks. And I am out of here. I'm just kidding. I'm not Dennis Miller.
I was going to say, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Stay classy. With that, go out there, have fun, be safe, and be excellent to each other. Yeah, it was good. I thought that was a good episode. I enjoyed it a great deal.
Hooah.
Just a shade under a decade, too.
Lots of people go to school for 10 years.
All right. That was fun. It was cool that Young Games showed up and some of those guys hung out. It was good. Good meeting some of you. And thank you to all the regs. We love you all, obviously. So Asa will absolutely ship your game someday. I promise I will. It's sitting right now. It's ensconced in a number of. It's surrounded by Super Puyo and Derby Stallion 96.
He might end up. I think if they're going this long, he needs a Famicom.
To be
Super
fair,
Famicom
I
game,
think
too.
that he mentioned that he was interested in some stuff. Well, he and I will work something out for sure. So
you guys can deal with that.
yeah, I definitely will. But yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat tonight, and thank you for listening as always. And please go rate us on iTunes as 5 stars and tell everybody how stupid we are in the actual comment. Put 5 stars and like, these guys are clowns. They're worse than Matty Ice and Marky Mark.
Are we though?
I mean, if it's 5 stars, I guess it depends on what it's out of. 10?
They made a 5.43.
I don't know.
Christ.
I don't want to listen to them eat any more nuts. I know that. All right.
Is John? Are you okay that I picked Zelda 2?
Why wouldn't he be? Where do you see that he's not?
I don't know. He hasn't said anything. He's been radio
Maybe he's not
silence.
there. Maybe he's gone. He hung up, remember?
But he just like got off
I know
the whole
he's there.
show.
Maybe forever.
I'd
Maybe
be
he said he
sad.
was. I'd be sad too, but what are you going to do, man? He's a man. He's got to make a choice for himself. Whatever's best for him. He's got to do what's best for him. Nobody else is gonna.
What did Robbie say? He's raging.
He's raging. He's only gonna play the Famicom Disk System version. Sorry, that's the only one I'll play. It has the real sword noise.
Whoa!
What
I just
happened?
opened my text. There's a lot of text in here.
I haven't looked at any of that stuff. Fantasy Zone is the only game I'm missing loose of the Tengen carts, but that's because my CIB is sealed. I'll
I love
trade
that he
you.
Said no attention paid. I'm all about ignoring text.
I'll trade you my loose copy for that sealed one, and then I'll go buy a loose copy of Fantasy Zone.
Okay.
I'll trade you 9 Famicoms boxed. Wait, no, 8. Wait, no, 7. Well, I got to keep one, and I got to send one to one of my buddies here. Don't want my top secret idea to be heard. I got an idea. Kill the feed.
Oh.
Well, what? Then I won't be able to hear you anymore. Wait, I can't hear you anyway. You know what I meant? It's getting late. I'm tired.
Off the rails.
Don't want my secret. Okay, well, then you call in. We'll kill the feed, and then you call in. All right? So we're going to do that now. So good night, everybody. You can blame Robbie for us hanging up early. It's not early. It's not early.
Yes.
Yes, he says. All right. All right, we're killing it. Bye.
Later.
Stay here. Wait, we'll see if he calls anyway.
Okay. All right, Robbie, we hung up. Nobody else is here.
Yeah, it's just us now.
Yeah, go ahead and...
Valdor's not in the chat anymore.
No, he's gone.
He left, and
So did Kalen.
shit, he can hear us.
Oh. Fuck. He said lies.
Yeah, I know what he said. Now we really have to.
All right.
All right.
All right, we're out, guys.
See you guys.
Yeah, we're
Bye.
gonna go home anyways. It's almost
Click.
12. That's really getting late. We could call Robbie and John.
I'll call Robbie on the way.
I want to talk to him too.
Then stay for 5 minutes.
I'm going to. Hang up the damn show.
I don't know how. I forget what's going
You
on.
have to log off the show.
Oh, the mouse.
Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Bye.
See you